apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything: sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Whether you are buying or selling a home or even looking for some land to build on and start a family, be sure to give Reed Emerson with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage Group a shout. He is a longtime listener and supporter of Fan Run and has been serving the Mid-State for many years. Reed prides himself on his hassle-free and honest approach, and that's because he's not just chasing another commission. He wants what is best for his clients. Give Reed Emerson a call or text him today to get the process started. His number is 931-492-0418, or you can find him online at bhgheritagegroup.com.
Are you ready to show off that confident, radiant smile you've always dreamed of? Well, here at Knoxville Smiles, we're ready to turn your dream into a reality. At Knoxville Smiles, we're more than just a dental practice. We're your partners in achieving optimum oral health. From routine cleanings and checkups to advanced cosmetics and restorative procedures, we offer a wide range of services in an environment that makes every visit a positive and comfortable experience. At Knoxville Smiles, it's about more than just treatments. We're focused on creating a welcoming environment where you feel like family. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed with your comfort in mind, and our friendly staff is always ready to address your questions and concerns. Don't wait any longer to achieve a beautiful smile you deserve. Schedule your appointment at Knoxville Smiles today and take that first step towards a healthier, happier you. Call us at 865-539-1776 to book your appointment today, or just visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Good morning, Fan Run Nation. We're rolling downhill to the end of another week. Hope it's been a good one for you so far. So yesterday, the news most of us were expecting came down. Tennessee Athletics is running back into the arms of former uniform apparel partner Adidas to be their future partner. And let me tell you, if we expected the reaction to be emotional by some, buddy, we had no idea. Many people are a decided and vocal thumbs down on this deal. And while I still maintain that I'm not emotional on this deal either way, I've slept on it. And I think there are reasons beyond the obvious brand cachet between the swoosh and the three stripes that have some Vols angry about this. All sorts of perspectives on this one, and right, wrong, or indifferent, it deserves more discussion. So we'll do just that. We'll also get the perspective on this and the Vols from our guy, Ben Mckee of Go Vols 247 in hour one. Then in hour two, we'll talk a little Vols football that's on the field, as it feels like finally we're closing in on a starting quarterback decision. Not that it's a big surprise. We'll discuss the sentiment that we're going to hear Johnny Football's name called as QB1 and soon. And in hour three, we'll have more college football to discuss with Jack Foster of Omaha Productions. Also, which NFL franchises are worth the most money? Who's the hottest power couple in sports and entertainment besides Travis and Tay-Tay? Who are they? We'll talk about that and more. It's all coming your way on today's edition of Under Review, and it's starting right now.
From the studios of Fox Sports Knoxville, it's time for Under Review with Bob Baskerville on Fan Run Radio.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Thursday. The week is almost over. One more day till another weekend. That much closer to football. We are only 16 days away until football time in Tennessee. 9 days away till week 0. 21 days away till regular season NFL. 3 weeks, people. High school, if you're into that locally, the jamborees start tonight. Football's in the air, folks. Makes me smile. We're going to be talking about that and other things today, as we usually tend to do. We are coming to you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios, a Fan Run Radio. This is Under Review. I'm your host, Bob Baskerville, joined as always by Sam Beard, Brett Hollander, and Garrett Armbrust in the production booth as well, joining us. And you, the listener, always appreciate you spending time with us, however you choose to do that, whether it's on the radio dial, AM 1340 or FM 105.7, maybe a live stream on fanrunradio.com. Maybe you're out and about, you're mobile, you're using that free Fan Run mobile app to stream us that way. Maybe a time shift. Busy people, you may be listening to this thing later in the day or this evening, and that's cool too. We are available wherever you find your podcasts. We're on video right now. We can see you, kind of. You can definitely see us on YouTube, Fan Run TV. Like and subscribe to the channel. We're starting to see some growth there, some really good interaction on the shows as well in the chat box. And there's also video on X, as there's always been. You can also be a part of the program too on a live basis. Phone lines are open, text box is open. You can phone or text us either way. Area code 865-966-3435. That's 966-3435. You can also communicate with us. Like I said, we're on video on X. You can also post your comments and questions on X as well, at Fox Sports Knox. Again, however you're interacting with us, watching, listening, doesn't matter. Means so much to us, particularly at the most important time of year that's headed our way now. So really appreciate you being a part of it. Boys, yesterday feels like we talked about it. We had some intel that it was coming. And while it was not necessarily an enormous surprise, it's being, all trends were indicating that we were going to be partnering up with Adidas moving forward. Once it became formalized, man, even when we talked about it on our show yesterday as, hey, it sounds like it's coming, people started reacting. And then in the afternoon, people really started reacting. The story ended up dropping a little earlier than 4 p.m. I think it went at about 3:35, 3:40, because it was out there by then. I did a hit on the drive yesterday with Russell Smith and the boys, and we talked for the whole segment about that. And man, the reactions. Russell was getting a bunch of reactions because he's very down on this move. We've heard that. I'm not necessarily up on the move, but I understand the move, I guess is the best way to put it. Beyond that, I don't really care. That's what I've been saying all along. Sam said it too. It's like, money's money. That's unfortunately the truth here. And that's going to be something we'll dig into deeper in this hour. But it just kind of cracks me up, man. It's like we're passionate about our Vols. I get it. I just like to save the passion for what's going on the field. That's all. But to each their own, man. Y'all do you. That's okay. That's okay. That's what makes the world go round. Not a problem. We'll talk about that amongst other things today. Got some good guests lined up. Should be a good show. Got a few lists to go through because it's still the list season, but it's getting closer to being over, where all we do is talk about the games and ball. Can't wait. Let's say hello to the gang first, though. Sam, it's Thursday, buddy. How are you?
Doing pretty solid this Thursday. Not feeling my best, honestly, this morning. I don't know if it was a combination of Chase Thomas was giving me a hard time. I did voluntarily choose a lunch of Subway and some of the leftover hot Cheetos in the kitchen, and yeah, it probably wasn't paying dividends, this morning on me. Also, maybe it's just me being on social media and watching all the reactions of Tennessee to Adidas. Maybe it's just a combination of all of it. Who knows? But yeah, we're one day closer to football. That's all you got to say to yourself whenever you're maybe not having one of your hottest starts to the morning. You just got to say, hey, we're right there, coming down the home stretch, single digit days until week 0. That's all you gotta have in the back of your mind. we're getting so close you can almost taste it.
It's true. It's true. Did you really
Had a
just-
buddy what?
I was just gonna say, hold your thought, but did you just really pound the Cheetos?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that might have been the thing.
Yeah. I had a decent sized bowl of them. they're good, honestly.
I understand.
Short-term gain for long-term pain.
Yeah, I get it. No,
Yeah.
you were gonna say something. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna I had a buddy text me like, "Hey, what are you doing for Labor Day weekend?" And I was like, sitting on my couch and watching football for, sun up to sundown. Essentially, he's like, "Okay, sweet. I might make the drive up." And I was like, "My door's open. We're just gonna probably be throwing something on the grill and watching as many games as my eyes can consume, basically."
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of, you see, here's the challenge. That weekend's also my wedding anniversary. Now, it's, we will definitely do something to commemorate it. It is not a milestone wedding anniversary. You know what I mean? It's not like 20 years, 25 years. So that helps. But I don't know. My wife, shout out Sue, she kind of gets the drill, and she likes to watch a little sports. She's a Syracuse grad, so she's interested in this game. I mean,
there we go.
She's a Vol fan at this point, but when it's going against your old school, I mean, Tennessee, it's been a while, but they played Indiana State here, like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, I think, something like that. And I went to the game, because it's where I went to school, and I knew it was going to be a massacre. But you gotta represent.
Yeah.
You spent time there. So anyway, that weekend, unless it's a place where you got a lot of TVs, I'd say you're booked for the weekend. I would agree. Brett, how are you, my man?
Doing good. I was one of the millions sitting through that Taylor Swift thing last night.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
Wife and daughter. I feel like I had to take one for the team, though, because there's going to be many Saturday nights where I'm locked into the TV on sports. So, I mean, I was locked into on the computer, and I had a soccer game on the other TV. I'm focused on fantasy football and fantasy soccer and fantasy golf. I do fantasy golf. So I was trying to finalize my team for BMW championship that's, I think, just started. But so I was occupying stuff, and they were excited about it. So I was like, okay. And I didn't expect it to go for 2 hours either. I thought it was just going to be announcing the thing, and that was going to be it. But it was into the Eras Tour. It was into
a 2-hour podcast.
It was
Holy
2
hell.
hours, and or cut off with like 1 hour and 55 in or something like that. So, but she was going into they were going into their relationship, her getting into football. It was more than just announcing the whole album and stuff like that. So even my wife was surprised how long it took. But no, I was doing that, but I was focused more on fantasy football and fantasy golf and fantasy soccer. So my attention was somewhere else anyway. So I could deal with it for one night. So,
well, we had a message on that text box on that topic that said, it was directed at me, and it said, for your own personal image, Bob, never say Tay-Tay again, which is fair. It's fair. It just rolled off the tongue. I don't know. I've heard that mostly from, what I see on TV and social media. That was from listener Bob. So it was a Bob to Bob bit of advice.
He said you can't do anything. You can't do anything bad to the Bob name over here.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Bobs don't say Tay-Tay.
That just kind of came out. That wasn't even like in my notes or anything. It's like
just off the rip.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what is she? Is she T Swift? Is she just Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Just Taylor Swift.
Just Taylor Swift in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Good bit of advice. I appreciate it. Garrett, how are things with you?
I'm good. Luckily, I did not watch the Taylor Swift podcast last night. I was watching my Braves. They were down 6-0. Then they scored 9 runs in the fourth, ended up winning. So that was probably the wildest MLB game I've watched all season. But yeah, as Sam said, we got single digits to college football season, 9 days till Stanford, Hawaii. So
my guy, fantasy guy, Michael Harris.
Yeah.
Grand slam last night.
He's turned it around a little
All-Star
bit since
break,
the
yeah.
All-Star break,
Yeah.
but just it's not like our team has or anything like that. So I guess it's
big moral victory for us.
Keeping the Mets down. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Did
Shove
some
them in a locker.
We had a trade deadline, and I did something I never thought I'd do. I went ahead and I did it before his last start. I went ahead and put, because Spencer Strider's an expiring contract on my team, so I'm going to lose him anyway. So I put him out there for a team that was right up towards the top to see if they would bite for, give me a guy that I could protect at a lower salary for next year. He bid it. And that was before he pitched last night. So it's already in the voting period. You can't really renege on it.
Nice.
Who'd you get?
Brian Wu.
Nice.
At a low salary too, like 20 cents.
Nice.
And so, which is like, or $2, depending upon what metric you use. Pretty low salary. And I can, and he's got at least 3 years of.
Yeah, he's having a great year this year.
Yeah. So it's worth a shot, I figured, because I'm going to lose Strider in 5 weeks, 6 weeks anyway. And you
can't buy him back.
He'll go back into the draft next year. So I could go get him again.
They may end up shutting him down too.
That's what
they're going to be out of this. Why risk him? And
I am firmly of the belief we could see some of that happen. And I don't know if Sale comes back. I mean,
I know he went to rehab.
Yeah.
AAA. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's.
I just feel like that. What I saw the other night, I was like, I say he's cooked. I just don't think he's all the way back. That's really it. So, I don't know. That's interesting though. But yeah, the Braves, that was because last I watched of it last night when it was on TV, they were getting cooked. It was 6-0, and I thought it was over.
Just another loss.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well,
don't bring up your team though either, Bob.
No, I was gonna say they choked it away last night, and they got a huge series with San Diego coming up.
Oh, really?
Huge, and they don't like each other either.
Right.
That's the other thing. So should be fun. Should be fun. I did watch second episode of Alien Earth last night, and
You're in?
I'm scared, man. Just very scared.
You're an alien on Earth?
Oh my God. They just do a wonderful job of, these things are so freaking creepy, and they can just make you kind of cringe when all this stuff is going on. Yeah, it's good in that regard. And then some other things happen, and it's like pure carnage. Well, but you don't necessarily see it all. You just see the aftermath.
What made you watch that? Like
Alien Earth?
Yeah, I mean,
just because I have some linkage to the movies.
I got you.
I've paid attention to the movies, and what was the motto of the first movie was in space, no one can hear you scream. That was their whole.
I'm not sure I've seen.
It's a good motto.
Yeah, that was when that was for the first movie that came out way back when. So
I feel like we need our guy Jake here for this stuff.
Oh, Jake I'd be surprised if he's not watching it. He's probably all over it. But yeah, some of it kind of goes back to younger years for me, and
right.
I dug the movies, and it's good. It's just really well done. And then I started watching episode 2 of Hard Knocks, and I fell asleep. So
I should have done that last night.
I watched a little. The Ray Davis part is great.
Ooh.
They talk about him kicking, and
I loved me some Ray Davis in college. I'm not gonna lie. Like Kentucky football, they're not anything scary. So like you can kind of pick one player on the team that.
Is he the one that ran all over Florida?
I think so.
He ran over a lot of people.
I mean, yeah,
a couple years ago,
he was just a stud. Yeah.
But have you ever heard him talk? Because it's not the voice you would expect, because you're right. He was a badass in college and everything, but he talks, he's kind of got a smoky voice. It's not real deep or anything. But it's kind of cool. Like they show Josh Allen on the sidelines going, oh, that's Ray kicking, like he wasn't paying attention. And he was like, all right, they had him mic'd up. So but then like I said, I fell asleep. So I'm gonna have to pick it up again.
Yeah.
One last thing before we hit a break. You were talking about things that might have turned your stomach. I saw a story. I don't know if any of you saw this. Made me happy, blew my mind, made me feel like, hey, what I'm doing is not too bad. The new hot energy snack, super popular with endurance runners and everything. Brett knows what it is because he's seen it.
Yeah.
Rice Krispie treats.
Nice. I thought I saw it because the bikers do it too.
Bikers.
Yeah, bikers.
You're right. It's bikers and endurance runners.
I thought it was Uncrustables.
Yeah. These are even sweeter.
Yeah.
So
little kick of sugar.
Yeah, they said, it's just and somebody said the rice is kind of easy on your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I still eat Rice Krispie treats. I don't feel so bad now. It's like, hey man,
they're good.
Highly conditioned athletes do it all the time.
That's why Bob's like, I do the dessert bars too. You know,
Exactly.
You put a little ice cream in between them. They're just as good.
Yeah, picture a marathon runner trying to slam one of those down, big, thick vanilla ice cream. And
might work for him.
Yeah, thought it was interesting. All right. Good show ahead for you today. We are going to continue the conversation for a little while. We're not going to let it dominate the show unless listeners want to weigh in, and that's okay too. We understand it's on people's minds, but we're going to talk a little bit about the Adidas deal. Again, it's old news at this point, but it's still marinating. It's still smoldering, and we'll talk about that. We'll also get the perspective of it from Ben Mckee with GoVols 247. That's all in this hour. Because, again, it's tough when we don't have access to what the terms of the deal look like. But at the same time, if you look at some of the details that are available of what the terms of the Nike deal looked like, the one that we're still in, I'm sorry, man, just straight business. It's a no-brainer. And again, to be clear, because I know there's some people saying, you know, why are you supporting it? I want to say more. I understand it. If we were re-upping with Nike, that'd be fine, but it wouldn't be for the same money, man. That's all I'm saying. I understand the rationale, but it is something that's stacked on a bunch of other moves that we've been seeing by our athletic director in the past year. And I think that might be what you combine all that in an aggregate. I think some of this is starting to get people up in arms for a lot of other reasons, because it is a business move, but I can understand why some people are like, okay, are we going to just be kicked to the wayside as our fandom because of the business? It's fair. We're going to talk about all that in this hour, and certainly want to hear your points of view on it as well. You can text in, call in, chat with us on YouTube, whatever you want to do. Open conversation. Nothing's out of bounds, except making fun of me for saying Tay-Tay. That's over and done. All right, let's hit a break. When we return, topic A for today, Adidas, Tennessee, the marriage. Oh, well, we'll talk about it. Be right back. It's Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
And here we go. It's William Pattison, and this is your daily invite to Overtime on Fan Run Radio. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm breaking down everything you care about, from the latest Tennessee Volunteers news to bold takes on college football, the NFL, and NBA. If it's happening in the world of sports, I've got an angle on it. You bring the passion, and I'll deliver the truth, the fire, and the facts. It's Overtime with William Pattison, weeknights at 7, only on Fan Run Radio.
Citizens National Bank.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the CNB Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at CNB has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Topic A for today is, do we really have to ask? It's the fallout from yesterday's announcement of Tennessee partnering with Adidas for a 10-year deal. It's about all we know about the terms of it, per se, in terms of uniform, apparel, shoes, partnership. Like we were saying in the opening segment, it's got people pretty wound up. I understand it. That's all I can keep saying. We've got some interaction from some listeners already. This came on the text box from someone in the 423. And it says, "Hey, Bob, I heard you singing the praises of the move backwards to Adidas. How much money do you think the football team will get after it's split amongst all the sports teams?" Well, a couple of things. First of all, it's semantics. I'm not singing the praises of it. I'm trying to explain why I think the deal happened, okay? And move backwards remains to be seen. Time will tell. I get it. For some people, they're thinking from the standpoint of, again, brand cachet. Is it a step backwards? Yeah, I guess that's fair. As far as how the money will be divided and where will it go to, how much will go to football, I don't think it's any different than, I mean, this is off the top of my head, by the way, because we don't know the terms of this deal, because you followed up 423 with a question of if it's such a no-brainer, give us some projected numbers. It's all hypothetical until we see how many 5 stars the football team is going to get from Adidas cash. Okay, fair. I think what we'll talk about in the next segment too, when Ben Mckee joins us, I referred to this a little earlier, is some of the, what we would call, I think, guaranteed money that Tennessee is getting in the current deal from Nike right now. Is in this era, it is small. I mean, there's rev share language in that deal, of course, which makes it more lucrative. But it's like, it's in the $1 million+ range each year that Tennessee is getting as like guaranteed money. It sounds to me, we don't have the terms of this deal, but it sounds to me like it's going to be more. There's all sorts of numbers being bandied about, 18 million, 20 million, you name it. We don't know if that's exactly the number, but it is safe to say that it is considerably more than what we're getting right now. Okay, so that's the part I can say. Back to the question of how much does football get in this? I don't know. It's going to be weighted, and it's probably going to be weighted similar to what we've talked about, Sam, with the rev share plan that the NCAA has put in with the House agreement. It's going to be weighted towards football. That won't change. And it should be significant money. Again, and it's been talked about on other shows, look at schools like Texas A&M and Miami that are Adidas schools. I think they're doing okay on recruiting right now. Okay. So, I mean, I just think until we get more detail, it's tough to just do a sheer like measurement of it. But I think it's safe to say it's going to be more favorable. It's going to be more money. That's all I can say right now. It's not hard for it to be more money than what it sounds like we were getting from Nike in the current deal.
At the very minimum, it's going to give you more flexibility. And, I mean, there's a lot of kind of hypothetical numbers that are getting floated out there, but it seems like Nike was offering somewhere around 5 million and Adidas is somewhere around the range of 20 million. Like, to me, if you're just there's nothing in the world in terms of money where, I'm going to turn down 20 because of just, the preferability of brand, I guess, over 5. And I just think it gives you a lot more flexibility to go out there and do whatever you want with that. And if you want to weight it so much more heavily towards football, you can. It gives you a little bit more of an option to do that. Or, if you want to just invest it more into the athletic department as a whole, and maybe you feel like you can just fundraise enough money on your own for football, and then you can kind of throw the rest of the Adidas money into some other sports. I'm sure they've got a plan down in place for all of this, but I mean, I just think at the end of the day, the difference between Nike and Adidas is not a $15 million difference to me.
Yeah.
It's one that I would definitely swing in the other direction for, just to be able to make that much more money.
Yeah. Listener Buck, this was on the live chat on YouTube on Fan Run TV. He wrote, "It doesn't really matter what the fans think. They demonstrate this on a daily basis at Tennessee. You can sell it as a business move, but it's about the money," which I think those go hand in hand. Business move would be about the money. But then he also said, the other issue, humble opinion, that money today will not be what it appears to be 3 years from now. The players will keep demanding more. That's probably true too. Shane just hopped on and said, "Oh God, this again."
Yeah.
And then he said, he also wrote, "We want a natty and Adidas during the Nike MJ heyday." So not an issue. Fair point. The one thing I want to say before we hit a break, because again, we'll get another perspective on this from someone who's, also got he's got some information that I think maybe helps this conversation. Is I was thinking about it this morning when I got up, and I think there is some rancor, for myself included, by the way, of the Neyland Entertainment District. Okay, if that happens, how's that going to get paid for, right? That's one thing. The talent fee. Everybody's paying for that. I'm one of the guys, just like the story everybody heard about a week and a half ago about the older gentleman who his season tickets for basketball, the price tripled from what he originally paid way back when, to the extent he can't afford it anymore. I saw this too. I talked to the guys here about that, maybe even off mic, where I was like, God, man, they just keep coming. And I'm coming to a point where I don't know if I want to continue. As much as I love basketball, as much as I like my seats, it's like, and so it does feel, now this Adidas announcement comes out, and it is, make no mistake about it. One thing we can say, whether it will be beneficial to the school or not, at face value, it's about the money. That's what it's about. And getting treatment like they keep saying it's getting treatment like a front and center partner, which maybe Nike was not doing with us. Okay. So I do think maybe, and Sam, I want your take on that before we hit a break. It's like, do you think some of this is starting to be, in total, it's like, I got to name it, it's Danny White fatigue, right? I mean, the guy is doing, by and large, there's a lot of things he's done that has elevated our sports programs. We talk about being an everything school, et cetera. And I said it way back when, this stuff comes at a cost. Make no mistake about it. Do not kid yourself. It's coming at a cost. And it feels like now that we've reached some level of success, and then part of the landscape has changed with NIL, everything else. But now it's like, now fans, you're going to help us pay for it, whether it's through ticket prices, whether it's through talent fees, whether it's through required donations, whether it's through, hey, yeah, you may not like this new apparel partnership. Tough luck. This is what we're doing. Do you think maybe it's some of that that's getting to people too?
I mean, I think it's ultimately just, a lot of change in a short amount of time is not very comfortable type of thing.
Of course.
And so it's a bunch of new things getting kind of thrown at you, and you don't like seeing maybe some of your old traditions get broken up. And so, yeah, like the entertainment district, everyone's just like, hey, I kind of like just my tailgate that I've been doing for the last however many years. And I don't like to have my spot taken and stuff like that. And I don't like to have to just cough up an absurd amount of money to keep tickets that were promised to me. Like that stuff obviously does get under your skin eventually. And then, yeah, I'm sure maybe the Adidas Nike switch is just kind of the cherry on top, because everyone views Nike as kind of that clear number one brand in the world. And you feel like you're going down to a B tier type of brand, while all of these new fancy additions have been saying like, hey, we're just trying to be the best of the best. And then you feel like you've done some massive deal now with a company that doesn't really get viewed as the best of the best.
Right. I think that's right. We're going to get to more of this, obviously. I do have quickly, Buck sent us another follow-up to his messages on the chat. And he was the one talking about,
Tay-Tay.
No, he was not. He was kinder than that. No, he was the one that said you can sell it as a business move, but it's about the money. He said, now following up, my point was, I guess I didn't say it right. Quit selling it for one thing or another. Danny White will go to the highest bidder no matter what we think. Okay.
It's the same reason Danny put Pilot on the field and why Food City Center.
Right. That's right.
So change is going to happen.
And then somebody else, and it's there's not a name here, but it says, where is the outrage for the amount of money they spent on Nico's eligibility and direct payment with no ROI? There are other things to direct energy towards. Yeah, just saying, right? Just saying. All right, let's hit a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. We'll be joined by Ben Mckee with Go Vols 247. And then I'm sure we'll carry on with some more of this as we roll into hour two. Stick around, though. Be right back with Ben. You're listening to Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
You're listening to Fan Run Radio, the sports humans.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You know you're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, she wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Men's Pro Knoxville, but he's too scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Gotcha, Mike. It's Nephew Tommy. Ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Men's Pro Knoxville is the real deal, fellas. Local experts, test results in minutes. Call 865-544-8220 or hit men'sproKnoxville.com before your lady books a new co-star. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. 4282 or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Welcome back. Under Review carries on here in hour one, final segment. Let's talk a little more about this. It's going to rule the sports news cycle locally, I think, for today. The Tennessee Adidas agreement. We've been talking about it a little bit already. Let's get another point of view. He did a piece on GoVols 247 about it. His colleague Patrick Brown did one that was interesting too. Let's get some perspective from Ben Mckee, again, of GoVols 247. Ben, thanks for hopping on. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm hanging in there and trying to get through this week. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Got my last one shuttled off to school yesterday. So I guess maybe back to a little normalcy. So that's all good. That's all good. Yeah, let's dig into this because I know you're on a tight timeline too. So I'll give you my point of view on this. And I think for the most part, I think it can kind of represent Sam and my position on this deal with Adidas and Tennessee. First of all, because I've had a few people come back after I've talked about it and said, you love this deal. It's like, I wouldn't say I love it, but what I would say is I understand it, right? From the standpoint of the big business of collegiate sports, et cetera. And I think that's the reality. What I think some people may want to, I don't want to say not listen to is, I think the biggest thing that could tell you all you need to know is that contractually Nike had a chance to match Adidas's offer. Now, there's a lot of times in business transactions where the new purchasing company overpays for something. So I get that. But based on some of the things I've read from you and from Patrick, I wanted your take because times change. So I know terms of a deal are different now than they were 4 or 5 years ago. But at the same time, the amount of money that's coming into Tennessee in the current Nike deal, by my interpretation of it, not the rev share part, but the money that comes in saying, we'll give you this up front. We are that behind trying to make a partnership work. The money that came in from Nike, whatever the number is going to be for Adidas, it pales in comparison to that. I think it's safe to say. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Nike did not prioritize Tennessee while they were under contract with Tennessee, and then even during negotiations. Nike just did not, for some strange reason, it makes zero sense to me. They did not feel like there was value in the Power T, which, again, makes zero sense to me when you look at merchandise sales, when you look at attendance numbers. There's a number of different metrics that you can look at in regards to Tennessee's fan base and the power of the Power T that check all the boxes. Tennessee is routinely towards the top in merchandise sales, selling out its venues and other things. And for Nike, who prioritizes those things, to just kind of scoff at Tennessee and its value is just, I can't wrap my head around it. Now, I do think part of it is Nike has its hand in a lot of different cookie jars within college with so many schools that wear Nike, at the professional level with Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, and numerous other ventures that they have their hand in a lot of different cookie jars. So I kind of get it from that aspect of it. But to value a school like Auburn over Tennessee makes zero sense to me. And Auburn's a powerful brand in the SEC, but I don't think that it extends as far as Tennessee's brand does. So Nike just, kind of spit in the face of Tennessee a little bit and just not understanding the magnitude of what doing business with Tennessee looks like. Because when you give Tennessee a good product for it to buy into, its fans and everybody involved is going to jump at that tenfold. I mean, it's a powerful brand, and it was just not valued by Nike the way that they should be. So it came down to, Adidas is offering a lot more money. It's going to treat Tennessee as its flagship program. And from my understanding, Adidas has never referred to a school as its flagship program. They're going to be prioritized in a way that Nike was never going to, and they're going to make a whole lot more money than they were going to with Nike. I was told the exact numbers. I don't expect them to come out. Adidas does not want them out. Tennessee does not want them out. But even without knowing the exact price point, it is a top 3. It's believed to be a top 3 apparel deal in all of college athletics: basketball, football, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Jordan, whatever. It's believed to be a top 3 apparel deal. And in a day and age where money is more important than ever in college athletics, I think you need to take every penny that you can get. And it was such a great difference that it was a no-brainer for Danny White and his administration to roll through this. And I think they would have been a fool to not go through with this, quite frankly, just because of the just ginormous difference between what Nike and Adidas was willing to offer. And as you mentioned, I mean, Nike didn't even want to give a counter offer when Tennessee was obligated to take their deal from Adidas to them. And they had no interest in Tennessee at that point. So Tennessee's going to make more money. They're going to be valued more. They're going to have complete control of uniform stuff. I mean, look, I'm a Nike guy too. When I go to the store, I first look at Nike and Jordan. Those are my logos that I like to represent. I'm wearing Nike shorts right now. So I get it. Would I prefer to see Tennessee and Nike? Yes, I would. I'd actually prefer them to be in Jordan. But it just, too many people are being emotional about this, in my opinion. And this is helping Tennessee be one of the teams that can truly compete for a title year in and year out. This is going to help you go from a good recruiting staff to a great recruiting staff. It's going to allow you to bring in more players because of the partnership with Adidas. I mean, they're already working on deals for student athletes this academic school year before the contract even begins next July. And I mean, Faison Brandon, he's going to be able to benefit from this. Tennessee's recruiting Tristan Keys. He's an Adidas athlete. So it's not like Tennessee switched to Reebok or, Shaquille O'Neal's shoes or some Allen Iversons or Sea Lies or something like that. I mean, Adidas is a reputable brand, and it's going to treat Tennessee like it's one of the best brands in college athletics, which it should, because it is.
You touched on it a little bit there at the end there, Ben, but I feel like everyone's kind of worried that the athletes don't exactly view Adidas as a top brand, but with some of the reasons that you just laid out there, I think you're on the right track with guys like Jeremiah Smith, for example, being an Adidas athlete, Tristan Keys, Patrick Mahomes. Do you think that gap is as big as people kind of view it anymore, and how those brands are kind of viewed maybe in the players and the athletes' minds?
Well, there's no doubt that everybody, or I don't want to say everybody, I think the way I've been wording it is the vast majority of people prefer Nike. And that is absolutely the case for athletes and recruits. There's no doubt that they would rather wear Nike than Adidas. But when you're going to be able to make more money with Adidas than you are Nike, I don't think that they're going to care. I don't anticipate a recruit saying, oh, I don't want to go to Tennessee because they're wearing Adidas. There's 2 things that recruits are looking for these days. Money, which Tennessee is now going to have more money to commit to its recruits theoretically and to its roster. And they want to be developed. That's what they care about. They want to be developed in order to reach the NFL. And that's an area that Tennessee is pretty solid in. There's areas of the team that need to be better with development, but that's what recruits want. They want to be developed and reach the NFL, and they want money along the way. And this Adidas deal is going to allow them to make more money, put more money in their pockets than if Tennessee would have stuck with Nike. And that's ultimately what it boils down to, is just this rev share era that we're in, NIL era that we're in. You need every penny that you can get. And that was the biggest motivation behind making this move. I mean, I think if the numbers would have been somewhat close, Tennessee probably would have stuck with Nike, and we're not having this conversation. But again, Nike was not interested, and here we are. And yes, again, to answer your question, recruits, players, they absolutely prefer Nike. I do too. But I'm willing to wear whatever if somebody's willing to pay me to wear it. And I think that's the mindset that you'll see with recruits as well.
We're talking with Ben Mckee from GoVols 247, talking about the Adidas Tennessee partnership that's impending, goes live at the beginning of July in 2026. Ben, from your standpoint as a journalist, because the biggest topic, and it's on our mind too, but we're hearing it from listeners, it's like, okay, what are the terms? How much money? There's all sorts of numbers being thrown around in terms of the size of the deal. Like I said to you earlier, safe to say whatever it is going to be significantly more than Tennessee was getting from Nike or would have been getting from Nike in a renewal probably. That said, there does feel like there's some like politician level hiding of details right now, and they're saying what to prevent competitive advantage for others and all this other stuff. But it's a state institution. I mean, it feels to me like it's inevitable. There's got to be some level of disclosure on some of this. I don't want to sound like we're going all 60 minutes here, but at the same time, people want to know. They just want to know, man, because if it is, in fact, say it is 20 million and, and that's, it's free and clear and getting applied towards all sorts of stuff, and it can be used for NIL mostly, then I think that changes the narrative considerably, but we just don't know right now. Do you have any thoughts on, it feels like some of this is going to have to come out at some point, right?
Well, I would disagree and say that some of it has come out. Maybe not the exact dollar figure. I mean, I would like to know that dollar figure as well. But I'm satisfied if I'm a Tennessee fan, knowing that it is a top 3 apparel deal in the country. When that is said with confidence, I don't feel like I need to know the number because I have a general idea of where that number is. I mean, just go look at some of the mega apparel deals that have been signed recently, and those schools are making 15 to 20 million, somewhere in that range. And if Tennessee is a top 3 apparel deal in the country, I mean, that to me means that they are in that ballpark. And that makes me feel better about not knowing the specific terms of it. At least that's just the way my brain works. Like I don't really care what the number is at as long as it's understood that it's a top 3 deal in the country. I think that just kind of speaks for itself. And like, I don't blame Adidas or Tennessee wanting that number to get out, because I do think it is a competitive advantage. And would be a disadvantage if it got out, because schools could theoretically try to copy Tennessee and follow along. And if at some point Adidas has signed a number of schools, are they going to prioritize Tennessee if there are more teams that they need to handle and deal with? I think it would certainly be a very fair chance that Tennessee would not feel be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor as much if there were a ton of other schools involved. And I think a ton of other schools would try to get involved if those numbers got out. So I'm content with just knowing that, hey, it's a top 3 deal in the country. I think that plenty speaks for itself. But I'm sure it'll trickle out at some point. But the way that I've kind of said it is like Tennessee has kind of been the Red Sox, the Braves, that tier 2 of Major League Baseball teams that have money, but not as much money as the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets. And now I think this is going to allow Tennessee to spin like they are the Yankees or the Mets or the Dodgers. And they don't have to be picky like the Cubs or some of those other Major League teams. And I'm using baseball as an example because there's a salary cap in the NBA and the NFL. So I think Tennessee is going to really be able to benefit off of this deal because, again, it's one of the best in the country.
Is there an excuse for Tennessee to kind of not spin like that now? Because I think that maybe is where some of the people that are kind of opposed to the Adidas deal are maybe coming from, is they feel like they're taking a secondary brand. And I think maybe deep down they think no matter what they signed for, they still feel like, things aren't exactly going to change, and it's not going to, you're still going to kind of come at it maybe from not exactly a Moneyball approach, but you might not get into the realm of like the Texas Techs of the world type of thing.
Yeah. To follow up on that, Ben, like, I think there's some people who are like, is this money going towards how much this money is going to go towards the Neyland Entertainment District versus fortifying our sports programs?
Right. Which is a fair question to raise. I have not asked that question exactly. Maybe I need to do a better job and do so, but I've just been under the understanding of the way Tennessee talks when I have conversations that it's going to benefit the student athletes first and foremost, and that they're going to be able to set up NIL deals. And of course, I mean, not every single player on the team is going to be able to take advantage of this because there's so many on the team, and it's going to be the high profile players that are really able to benefit from this. But from my understanding, yeah, I mean, it's going to the athletic department. And does that mean that Tennessee should sign and win every single recruitment. I don't think that's a realistic expectation because there will be times where, especially in this new era of money in college athletics and trying to build a roster, some teams are going to value players more than other teams. Tennessee might be willing to commit $200,000 for a receiver, where another school in the SEC, Texas or Texas A&M, I'm just throwing out random examples. I mean, they may view the player better than Tennessee views them, and then they're willing to give them $400,000 instead of $200,000. So there's still going to be strategy in behind building your roster. So I think it would be unfair to set the expectation that, Tennessee's going to be able to go get any recruit that it wants in the country. They're going to have the number one recruiting class in the country every year, because other schools also have money. Oregon still has money, right? Yeah. Ohio State still has money. So it's not like Tennessee's just automatically going to win every battle now. What I think it does, and I think I mentioned this earlier in the call, is that I think it takes Tennessee from a good recruiting staff to a great recruiting staff. And I really believe in the whole baseball tier 2, tier 1 thing that I was talking about. I truly believe this gives Tennessee a chance to spend money like the Dodgers, like the Mets, like the Yankees, to where they can go be in real conversations with anybody that they want. And then it'll boil down to, it can't be just all about money, because a lot of these teams at the top, they're all going to be pretty similar offers. So at that point, you have to make sure that you're developing players, that you are winning, and you're putting guys in the league, and they're getting better as football players during their time at Tennessee. So it's not totally black and white. There's some gray area there. But I do think it is fair to expect an increase in recruiting production. Tennessee, it feels like, just off the top of my head, Tennessee's been a top 10, top 15 recruiting class year in and year out under Josh Heupel, which is good, especially if you are developing players. I mean, but I think this Adidas deal can take them from a top 10, top 15 class every year to a top 5, top 7 class every year, if not even higher. I do think it's that big of a deal.
If that's the case, then boy, it makes a lot more sense for a lot of people. So, hey, Ben, thank you so much. You can follow this guy at Ben Mckee 14 or at GoVols247. Does great work over there. Ben, really appreciate you hopping on. I hope you have a great last part of the week, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as always, and hope y'all have a great rest of your week and weekend as well.
See you too, Ben.
See you, man. Yeah.
Got it figured out. Just
there you go.
Throw money at the problem, baby.
We do need to maybe learn some more about the numbers. Like I said, we got to let journalists kind of dig on that with Freedom of Information Act and everything else.
Yeah, I don't know when does that like fully get announced, do you think? Like, do you think we have to wait until the Nike deal expires to like really get that number?
Maybe.
It's going to be speculation for an entire year.
Yeah. Could be. And I mean, I was just looking, because we all heard what Danny White said too about, it's a top 3 deal, et cetera, without giving us any terms. And I'm just looking historically. I mean, you'd have to think, one that stands out for me, I think Notre Dame with Under Armour. They've only been with Under Armour maybe they're entering their 3rd or 4th year with them. That is a $10 million annual deal. You got to believe it's going to be, because again, one of the things that is undeniable is as years pass by, everything escalates, right? The numbers we're talking about now, 5-10 years from now, will be likely different, probably more. So it does stand to reason. I mean, again, I don't want to pin down 20 million because there's a lot of talk about 20 million, but nobody can confirm that. So maybe it's less, but I doubt it's a lot less. I think, based on some of the stuff we're seeing with, some of these other schools and some of their deals. And I don't know, Sam, do we consider, I mean, Under Armour is a company, as a corporation, that's been losing money for some time.
They're locked in with Notre Dame for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and they've been with them since 2014. It just said to me.
Seriously?
Yeah. And they signed a 10-year deal or a 10-year extension back in 2023.
Wow. Okay. I thought that they had only been there like maybe 5 years tops. Because I remember him as an Adidas school. Then they made the move. So my point is like, again, if Under Armour is spending that kind of money, and who knows what they locked into them with for the extension, is it still 10 million? Is it more? We don't know. But that'd be an interesting one to see. Man, you go back in time. I mean, I've done a little bit of searching, like in the 2016, 2017, 2018 range. Tennessee wasn't even in the, their deal wasn't even in the I can't find it. Wasn't in the top 20 of schools. And that was with Nike. So anyway, let's hit a break. That wraps up hour one. We'll continue the conversation. Got a few more thoughts from listeners. We'll share those as well. We'll be back right after this. Stick around. It's Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft last year. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. They monitor and alert you to identity threats you'd miss on your own, even if you're careful with your personal information. And if you do become a victim of tax-related identity fraud, LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists ready to help solve your identity theft issue. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Let LifeLock help protect your financial info, so all you have to worry about is what you do with your tax refund. Go to LifeLock.com, save up to 25% off your first year. The promo code is HERD, promo code HERD, to save up to 25% off your first year. LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hour 2 of Under Review starts now.
Welcome back to the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios of Fox Sports Knoxville Fan Run Radio. It's Under Review on a Thursday. Bob and Sam and Brett and Garrett all here hanging out with you. Appreciate the interaction. Appreciate you listening. No matter what your point of view is, because we got a lot of differing points of view on this, and I get it. That's why we're here. Let's have that discourse. You can give us a call or text. The number is area code 865-966-3435. That's 966-3435. You can also hit us up on X at Fox Sports Knox. Let's carry on that conversation a little bit because we are getting some feedback. I'll start with some of the things we're seeing on Fan Run TV on the live chat. I think the last one I talked about was when Buck was talking about, Danny White will go to the highest bidder no matter what we think. Listener Shane says, I agree, Buck. I don't like that they are trying to say it's not about the money. It actually should be about the money. And I think nobody disagrees with that. Be nice to know how much, where's it going towards, all those things. Another listener says it would be easier to swallow if the additional $15 million would be going to NIL, but the university isn't saying that. Only a small portion is likely to go to the players. We don't know. That's why I posed that question to Ben in the last segment, because I do worry about Neyland Entertainment District. Sounds super cool and everything, but it feels like there's so much water in front of this, figuratively speaking, in terms of getting there, and it's all going to cost money, a lot of it.
I'm out on the Neyland Entertainment District.
I think I am too. Let's just call it right now. Brett, are you out on it?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably as of today, but I mean, I think it's going to be pretty awesome when it gets done, though.
Yeah, but think about how long it's going to be to get it done, and the carnage along the way. I mean, the parking, all the things that are going.
How much is Pilot paying for on that?
I don't know.
Because Adidas, is it just strictly going athletics? Like, is it even going into the Danny District?
Oh, we don't know. That's the whole point.
I mean, I feel like this deal is just going to be apparel, equipment, and things like that. It's not even going to be about building.
No, but my point is Danny going to take that money and put it elsewhere besides towards the players, towards NIL, because they're using that, I think, as a rationale for what we're trying to do to stay competitive in this shifting landscape. And that's fair, right? That's what you want to hear. How much of it's going to go towards that? That's the question, and nobody really knows. And I think it might be a while before we know.
There was an article that somebody put out. It was about the Braves, kind of, and I think it was, kind of the general idea of it was talking about the Battery over there and how kind of feels like the Braves are a little bit more worried about just making a lot of money off of the whole experience at the Battery and just creating like the quote unquote fan experience, aka just money into their pockets.
Yeah.
And a little bit less about spending on the team and going out there and creating like a competitive winning team to get people into the building. And the Neyland Entertainment District just screams the Battery in Atlanta to me. And so I do wonder if it's like, are you in it for the right reasons there? Like, do you truly think that that's going to create, winning people on the football team? Like, is the money that you're going to make off of the entertainment district, is that going to get funded back into going and making sure that you've got a top 5 recruiting class and spending an absurd amount of money on a roster each year? Because there's schools out there that are doing it. So, naturally Tennessee fans are kind of feeling like they're falling behind a little bit.
Yeah.
But don't you think we've spent more money on the players this year than we ever have? Like, you brought in a Nate Ament who cost who knows how much. David Sanders, we know, was the most expensive in college football that year. And then you're going after, you get a 5 stars on your roster right now.
You would think, but we've got,
now you can
Nico
go to
asking for more money, Boo Carter asking for more money,
but
Mike
they were
Matthews
a headache,
threatening the portal in the winter.
But Nico got money and he's still getting money.
He left because he didn't get as much as what he wanted. I'm not saying that he should have gotten that money. I'm just saying, like, are we paying as much as we?
Sam, it wasn't about the money. He wanted to go home. Come on.
He wanted a better team around him.
Yeah, right.
Way better system.
Wanted to help his coach remember where Los Angeles is.
Better atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Can't beat the Rose Bowl with 10,000 people in it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Tampa Vol, this is right on the topic of what we're saying. He said, the extra money has to go to NIL. Can't go to the entertainment district. We want wins, lots of wins. It all must go to NIL. Well, I got news for you. It's not all going to go to NIL. I find that hard to believe. But I agree with what you're saying. At least the majority. I mean, and I'm talking like the big majority of it. That's all I worry about is if it's a $20 million deal and, let's parse out $3 million for NIL to up our game there. It's like, hell, man, in a couple of years, that might just be one player. That's it, So
I don't even think it's a couple of years. I think that's just,
yeah.
I think we might be there already.
Well, Texas Tech is saying,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's pocket change for us right now. That's coins in the sofa cushion. Over back on the chat on X, Shane says, as long as the kids go to the NFL and make money, they are not going to care what they are wearing. The very few kids that are worried about that, about what they are wearing, we don't need or want anyways. I do kind of agree with that. I said that yesterday. I said that on the drive. I think the times have changed. I think that was a very pivotal decision-making point years ago, but now I think it's all about money. And yeah, what's going to be the visibility to get you to the NFL? I don't think it's necessarily the draft, Travis Hunter, number 1 pick overall, number 2 pick, right? After Cam. He's an Adidas guy. I don't think it's because of the shoes. It's because the guy's an unbelievable athlete. And then Buck says, I'm wearing an Adidas shirt, Nike shorts, and Skechers right now. I'm so confused. It's like, yeah, I find myself doing that when I go to the gym. I got every brand known to man on me. Let's look in the text box real quick because, Sam, there was one directed at you. Somebody wants to pick a fight with you. No, it's not like that. It said on top of that, it must have been after something you said, Sam. On top of that, Sam, we are just a 9 or 10 win team and paying players that we don't vet properly. I guess what he's saying is that's as good as it's getting for us right now. We're not playing for a national title. I mean, if I'm interpreting it, would you agree with that?
Sure. Yeah. You want to get some higher quality guys in the building and be able to, if you're investing that much money in them, you want to see the benefits pay off type of thing. I'm right there with you.
Old school Dirt Billy says, I don't care. I don't care if they wear matching pullovers from Walmart. Anything looks good if you win.
Wins cure all.
I think we can agree on all of us agree on that, right? It's like none of this matters if this team doesn't win games. But in order to get there, again, we saw the disparity in Columbus, Ohio a few months back, 6 months, 8 months ago. We were big boyed, and it's because of guys, I think coaching between Josh Heupel and Ryan Day, I don't think Ryan Day dominated in coaching. Chip Kelly might have, but it was players, man. It's players. So that's what we got to address. And presumably, yes, if this deal helps us get there, then I'm for it. But again, the one thing I would say is let's not, this whole thing about I'm a fan of the deal, somebody's a fan of the deal. It's more, I swear at the end of the day, until this came up, I don't care. I look at it and assess it for what it is. And it's like, if we can get more context and it's more context like we think it should be, then I understand the deal. Again, not for nothing, but Nike was not like, it feels like we're dating the super hot girl that, didn't pay much attention to us. I think that gets old after a while. That's all. Let's jump to the phone lines real quick. We got Rusty on the line. Rusty, what's happening, man?
What's the topic today? Is there any new news?
We were just talking about, do we like Tony Vitello's flow, his hair?
Do we?
Yeah.
Was that the first thing on your mind, Bob?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the first thing on mine.
I know. Well, I've already getting heat. I called Taylor Swift Tay-Tay earlier. So yeah, maybe I'm getting into a bad spot here, but well, no, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? I can only imagine.
I grew up in a small town, and there were these losers growing up who would argue about why Ford sucked or why Chevy sucked, and they made jokes about each other, and they were like always arguing about those. And it's the dumbest thing ever. They're they're both crappy American-made vehicles, but they're the same crappy. I mean, there's no difference. There's the quality of Nike and Adidas. There's no difference. It's creative control is all that matters, and who's going to pay you more money. That's really what we're talking about here. It's silly. People Nike was nothing. Michael Jordan wanted Adidas. Michael Jordan was an Adidas guy, and then Nike was smart. Everybody's seen the movie. They found a way to convince Michael to come to Nike. He made it cool. And then Tiger made Nike his thing, and golf took off with Tiger and all that. So Nike became cool because of that. And that's the only reason everybody cares about the swoosh. Let's be honest. We're talking about a guy who was such a gambling addict and wouldn't pay his gambling debts. He got his dad killed. And then the other guy's the biggest adulterer of all time. And that's the two guys that made Nike popular. I mean, the Nike love is ridiculous. It's no different than Adidas. They're the same. I don't think one's better than the other one. I don't care who it is. It's who gives more money and do we have creative control. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this kind of, Russ, is what I kind of talked about earlier in the show. I don't disagree with you. The one thing that's starting to, as I kind of let this marinate a little more, I'm beginning to think more that what may be getting people spun up, maybe as much, is we don't know, in the absence of knowing what the terms of the deal are, and we're probably not going to know for a little while, just given the MO that we're seeing from Danny White on all sorts of things, in terms of what it impacts with the fans. What are the proceeds? What are the revenue streams from this deal? Where's it going to go? Where's it really going to go? We'd like to believe it's going to go towards fortifying rosters, right? For all sports, namely football. Football's the toughest one because it's truly become an arms race at this point. Basketball's not far behind. Baseball, in its own special ways, got some of that going on too. But I think I kind of lit a fuse a little earlier with Ben Mckee when I just posed the question, and he said, he kind of wishes, thinks maybe he should ask it. It's like, yes, you should. I'm all for upgrading facilities too.
How's the money going to be allotted?
Yeah.
How's the money going to be allotted?
Practice facilities, things like that. But if it's going towards Neyland Entertainment District, I'm not sure I buy into that. That's all. I think that's the thing that's.
No, I'm with you.
I think that's what's wearing on people too, is I called it earlier, Danny White fatigue. And Danny's done a lot of stuff, man. I don't want to make it sound like he's a bad athletic director. He's elevated our athletic program to levels we haven't seen. So that's great. But we always said that's going to come at a cost. It just feels like now it's coming hard and fast at us.
No, I'm with you. I don't like to always say who my closest best source is. My closest best source is a close longtime buddy who is a heavily involved in NIL. That's the best way I can say it. A large chunk of the money is going to go to NIL. Now, I mean, the university is going to keep more money than they were getting from Nike, but there's still going to be a larger sum left over to go towards the NIL fund.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact dollar amount, but I know percentage wise, NIL is going to get a large chunk of this.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, I think we all hope so.
And the way I understand it is, they're going to do campaigns for exceptional athletes that get separate NIL deals pushed for them too. Let's say Faison Brandon has a great freshman year. They're going to do commercials with him and things like that he'll get paid separately from the money that the university's getting and allotting how they feel. There's a lot to it, which is, one reason why they're not able to disclose. And I think the other reason they didn't want to disclose is they don't want other schools, when their contracts come up with Nike, knowing what Tennessee's deal is. I think Penn State, their deal with Nike's up in a year, is what I think I read that yesterday. And Tennessee and Adidas don't want other schools knowing, so they can try to negotiate. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's part of it. Anyway.
Yeah,
I just think the people that fall in love with the swoosh or with Ford or with Honda or with whatever, it's the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. And the guy who said that he was wearing Skechers, Adidas, and a Nike shirt, that's brilliance, because I mean, brand affiliation, unless they're paying you for it, what are you doing, people?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so weird.
Yep.
Anyway, y'all be cool.
Thank you, Rusty. By the way, excuse me. Same listener we were reading some of the text from in the 423. This was happening during our interview, so couldn't really talk about it then, but said some nice things about us in the show, Sam. That's good. And then he said, I'm going to be skeptical until we see concrete numbers. Danny won't be able to keep this from the public. And that's exactly what we're talking about. I think eventually we will learn more. It's just how long will that take?
Mm-hmm.
And then the same listener wrote in and said, what does making UT a priority mean? They have an account rep on site 40 hours a week, a Knoxville warehouse. I don't know. It's a fair question, though. I mean, it used to be, by the way, as a matter of fact, station management lived in that world, and he was one of those guys on site probably close to 40 hours a week. I mean, UT was his account, and that's no joke. I do think that happens. And you have somebody that's just embedded and that's all they do is service the Tennessee account. I would say for the size of what this thing is reportedly coming in at, you would say yes, at a minimum there would be that kind of representation,
or at the very least you're getting their best over there type of thing. You're getting the best guy to oversee the entire operation, and you're working hand in hand with what's come out and talking about how you're going to be getting a lot of creative control in the process of it. And so you feel confident that you're going to be able to kind of communicate and relay everything that you want to them, and they're going to be able to get it done, hopefully. And if not, we're going to Greg Schiano you.
Nice.
The fans just want him to stick with Nike, like turn down this lucrative deal from Adidas.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, what was Danny? Danny went back to Nike, and Nike's
He
not
had to.
willing to like.
He had to. Yeah.
Hey, you're 10th, 12th best on our list. This is what you're getting. And so Danny's like, okay, we're going to go to Adidas. It's your loss, right?
So this is something
why are fans so mad right now?
Yeah, I wanted to get your take on this because I just did kind of a checklist yesterday of schools when I was talking on the drive with Russell and the guys. And I wonder if now we're getting into who knows what their strategy is, but is Nike's strategy, because if you think I could name right now, I could do it again. I put them down on paper. There's a minimum 10 or 12 schools that probably are getting better attention than Tennessee ever got from Nike.
And some are going to re-up.
Yeah. And you start looking at it, and what's interesting is a handful of those schools, they're really recognized as basketball schools. And so it makes me wonder if Nike was taking an approach now, like, and maybe this is not why they weren't so interested in Tennessee. It's like, we call ourselves an everything school, but you look at schools like
top of the list.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going through them in my head right now. Ohio State, Texas, Florida, hate to say it, but Florida, it goes on. And are they maybe dividing, saying, hey, we're going to target, let's just say for talk here, a dozen schools. And we want to go for like the best 8 schools that might have more of a football slant, but we're going to go after 4 or 5 schools that are basketball. Think about it. UConn, Kentucky, North Carolina. North Carolina is a basketball school still. I know they're slipping right now.
Absolutely.
But then you've got other schools that are good in multiple sports, right? And we've named some of them: Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Oregon, Alabama. It goes on and on. Respectfully, Tennessee's they're not in that conversation right now. They're not. I mean, now their visibility is up there. But I think maybe they might have taken that stance of, whereas Adidas, their approach is probably you're going to be our everything. Sounds like we're hitting on a potential date or something, but I think that might be the approach. And that's just the reality. You know, I think, you know, and this was from another listener in the 615. They said, they just wrote and said, Bob, I just don't think it's a big deal like some think it is. Yeah, we may lose a guy or two because he's addicted to Nike, but this is funny. The reason I'm reading this is because this was the kind of the paradigm I was using to explain to my teenage daughter last night about this whole deal. He wrote, it's not like we are going with Temu here. And that's exactly what I said to her, because I figured she'd understand what I was getting at. You know, and Sam, you touched on it too. We've got all these other athletes that have these standalone deals. Jeremiah Smith, I did not realize till I did some digging yesterday, was an Adidas guy. So I don't know. So back to your question, Brad, I don't know what else to say. We talk about being an everything school. We are doing really well in a lot of stuff, but if Nike's saying our top 5 targets or 6 targets for football are going to be these schools, why would we think we're in that conversation?
Or I think you can also view it as like, you know, the everything school type of thing. We've kind of talked also about, hey, do you have to pick and choose if you want to, you know, do you have to sacrifice a sport to kind of, you know, go and get that type of thing? Or can you kind of view it as, all right, let me just go take the biggest offer I can find, because it's going to be an expensive venture to go try and be an everything school. So I can go out there, and Nike's only going to give me 5. That's not exactly enough money to go and be an everything school. But if Adidas can give me 20 to do it, that's probably going to help me out in the long run in terms of staying competitive all across the board.
Yeah. I think some schools, I think we're seeing it with Kentucky. They're like, hey man, we're a basketball school.
And Russ was talking about that Barnes angle yesterday. Did you hear him talking about that?
I shot it down.
Was he on with you? And he was mentioning like,
he talked about it first, and I came on the next segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
That's all. He was saying that, you know, he has a theory that Barnes may retire after this upcoming season. And he said it would be because of a couple things. And it was that the way the game's changing.
Yeah.
And he's also going to be 72 next year.
Right.
But also because of
but not
switching
because of
from
this
Nike to
Adidas.
Adidas.
It's not having.
I was like, man, I don't buy that at all.
No.
I don't
They
buy
might
that
have been
at
at the table with these guys, you
Right.
know, like.
By the way, Candace Parker.
Yeah.
Candace Parker is weighing in on this. She's a
didn't
lead
realize
executive with Adidas, heads up women's basketball for Adidas. So again,
Arguably the greatest women's basketball player.
Now, again, listeners are going to say, yeah, there goes Bob again. He's glazing Adidas. It's like, it's not so much that maybe I'm defending him a little. It's just, I'm just finding it hard to find any compelling points that Nike presented here. That's all. That's all.
Clearly they weren't. I mean,
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're out there listening, tell me what's where it feels like Nike's been just killing it for us based on what we're hearing. Buck, we like Buck, man. He weighed in again. He said, I was at Thompson Bowling yesterday for a couple hours, and I see the upgrades, and I understand we want the best facilities, training, and coaches to get the players. Okay, so there's a vote for that. Shane then says, maybe I'm just too cynical, but I think the money is going to go to the correct place. We have to have a little trust. Danny is too proud to fail and wouldn't want to be seen as a loser. True. He's motivated. There's no doubt about that. I think that's what we're seeing. I think he's building a legacy here. It's just, I said this on Russ's show yesterday, can we at a minimum, with all this stuff happening, can you then maybe stop coming to the fans, at least for a little bit, saying, hey, more money. We're going to charge you this much more. Something's got to give. That's all.
A&M's rolling in 5-star, or, top 5 classes every year, and they're Adidas. I mean, it has nothing to do with it. They're throwing them money because they have money from Adidas and they're putting it to their athletes.
Yeah.
And hopefully we do the same thing.
Agreed. All right. Let's put this to bed for a little bit. Okay. We'll revisit it later in the show, but we're halfway through the show and this is all we've talked about. And it's important. I get it. I want to talk about Joey Aguilar. No, not really. I don't. As a matter of fact, we're going to jump tracks. When we return, we're going to go to NFL for a second because we've been talking about big money. You want to talk about big money? Sportico just put out their annual rankings of NFL franchises and how much they are worth. And it is crazy. Top of the list is a familiar name. That won't surprise you, but some of the other metrics are what surprised the hell out of me. It's like, God, the NFL is just a total cash cow. Total cash cow. We'll talk about that again. I'm sure we'll be revisiting Adidas Tennessee here shortly. But take a little break, talk a little NFL on the other side. Stick around. It's Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You know you're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, she wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Men's Pro Knoxville, but he's too scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Got you, Mike. It's nephew Tommy. Ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Men's Pro Knoxville is the real deal, fellas. Local experts, test results in minutes. Call 865-544-8220 or hit menspronknoxville.com before your lady books a new co-star. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food and not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 15% off with promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome back. One more bit of interaction from a couple listeners. This was on the chat on Fan Run TV. You got to go check it out. Like and subscribe. We're starting to develop some dialogue there, which I like. B.S. Osborne says, Nike is essentially saying or said to us, we don't love you, and honestly, we never did. You need us more than we need you. I feel Tennessee made the right decision to move on to Adidas. And then Shane says, Adidas is looking to compete with Nike. Nike has their bell cows. Adidas has seen us at our best and knows we can turn back into a front runner and is trying to build their own list to compete. And he said, I hope this makes sense. And that was my last thing on this list. Keep keep participating. But yes, I get what you're saying. I think that's what Adidas was saying to Tennessee. Like, you're going to be that important to us. Now let's see if that truly is the case. Guess we'll find out.
Gotta love Tennessee fans. Just we're digging that deep into it. We're putting it into like dating terms, you know.
Yes.
Do you want the supermodel girlfriend that doesn't really care about you all that much, or it's not too bad having like a 7 or 8 out of 10 that's obsessed with you.
It's fair. You sound like our president.
Leave it to Vol fans right now to just be able to hash it out that deep.
That's funny. So we're going to jump tracks for a little bit. Obviously, continue to keep coming with the feedback on this whole deal. We'll continue to discuss it as the show goes on, but we'll take a little break from it for a second for our own sanity. I always find this one interesting. This is Sportico.com. They put out their annual ranking of NFL. See, I got it in my head. NFL franchise valuation. So how much is an NFL franchise worth if you're trying to sell it, for example? Usually if you're selling it, it's going to be probably plussed up at a value larger than some of the numbers we're going to give, but it at least gives you a baseline of what to work with. What's interesting, and this just speaks to the strength of the Shield, Sam, the average valuation for each NFL team is average $7.13 billion. More importantly, that number is up 20% over last year.
Shield never sleeps.
Never sleeps.
Never sleeps.
And there's some
taking a nap.
There's some haves and have-nots. We'll have to talk about that because maybe some teams we like
I would assume
aren't high on this list.
Assume we're pretty low. Pretty low.
Yeah. Well, top of the list. Anyone want to take a guess at the top of the list? Is it any surprise?
Tennessee Titans.
No.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys for the 6th straight year. Their 2025 valuation is nearly $13 billion, $12.8 billion. And by the way, we talked about it already, but with each passing day, I'm getting more and more hyped to watch The Gambler and His Cowboys, which premieres on Netflix, I think next Tuesday.
Did you watch your Chiefs thing last night?
I think that starts today.
Starts today. Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to race to that one.
I figured Brett might have bought like the early release or something like that on it.
Brett's sitting there watching with a Chiefs jersey on.
Oh yeah.
Got a headband like Mahomes wears on his head.
The commercial for it's kind of cool.
It is. I just worry that it's going to be too much like of an infomercial on, the Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid aspect of it. But I'll give it a shot.
Mahomes is like crying in the commercial when they're talking to him.
Oh, that's good. All right. I haven't seen that one then.
He's crying. Bob, that's
the
good.
Chiefs outside of Kelsey and Mahomes don't seem to have the star power, though. Like they don't have like the diva receiver. I mean, they have the Rashee Rice, but outside of those two, they don't really have those guys you would want to see. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you're wrong.
Crazy ass Tyreek Hill back.
They do. Maybe just get Rashee Rice. Don't suspend him. Just get him out there and start raising hell.
I'm sure Sam's probably have that for headlines, but there's news out on him right now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm more fascinated, Garrett, and Brett with the Cowboys one, just from the standpoint, again, it's going to kind of go through the history of the acquisition of the team by Jerry Jones and all that stuff. So that should be fun. Let's go through some of the other teams on this list. So we know Dallas is number 1. Brett, do you have the list in front of you?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, good. Okay, Sam. Okay, let's talk about who do you think's number 2?
I would guess number 2 would be one of these New York teams. I'll go I guess the Giants.
No, you're close.
Close.
The Giants are 3rd.
Okay. Number two. I'll
give you one more guess.
How about the Patriots?
Are the 49ers up there?
They're up there, but they're not number 2. Number 2 is the Los Angeles Rams. Kind of surprised me. I mean, it's LA, big market. I get all that, but still kind of surprised me ahead of like a New York team.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was just big market or just dominant team.
It was close between the Rams at number 2 and the Giants at number 3. The Rams are worth $10.43 billion. The Giants are worth roughly $10.3 billion. Number 4 is a team that you guys just mentioned, the Patriots. It kind of a precipitous drop off there. Their valuation is 8.76, so closer to the average. And then number 5, Garrett, I think you just mentioned the 49ers. They're number 5 at 8.6.
All right. Floating right around it, Garrett.
What about, let's talk about the Super Bowl teams. Where do you think the Super Bowl champion ranks?
I would guess next, maybe, if you're thinking let's talk about them. I would say they're pretty high up there. I mean, like we said, or like I guess I just said, big market and a lot of success in the franchise. I think I'm just going to go with my gut of the Eagles. If you're saying it,
they're number 6.
Okay,
you were right. What about the Chiefs?
The Chiefs, I still feel like the Chiefs maybe have a little ways to go. They feel like they're kind of like more of like a 12-13 type of range to me.
Garrett, what do you think about the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm thinking around 10. I mean, I don't think Kansas City is a big enough market.
Yeah.
I'll say like 9, 10.
The Chiefs are 16. So you're right. They aren't up in that
small market.
Strata, but yeah.
I mean, like next, I would guess like the other New York team. Like I would just guess the Jets here probably.
You're close. The Jets are number 8 with a valuation of $8.1 billion. Number 7, and you're right. There, you start to think about it. A lot of it ties in with market size. Number 7, Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
$8.25 billion.
So the Bears in the top 10. I mean, that seems like a market that would be.
The Bears are not in the top 10. It's kind of a surprise. And, you know, some of the things that they factor into this, bear with me for a second.
Bears are close to it. They're 11.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. No, you
guys are way off.
There's like,
well, they talk about the team value, the way they factor this in. The valuation is derived from metrics by which football team transactions occur, including aggregating local and national revenues, and that's TV, et cetera, factoring in a team-specific multiplier. It also includes the value of each franchise's 3.13% interest in the league properties, including NFL Films, NFL Red Zone, and a private equity investment vehicle established by the NFL back in 2013 called 32 Equity. So some of it is tied to other things besides their market size, I guess, because the Bears are number 11, which means we've talked about the Jets at 8. There's 2 teams in front of the Bears. Number 9, and this I think is some of it is about the brand equity, and it adds to the value. Number 9, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
I mean, I do think
I was going to be guessing them, maybe not at 9 though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Vegas, that's my point. Vegas is a growing market. It's not, you know, it's not a top 10 market in terms of size, scale.
Atlanta would have been my guess there.
Yeah. But I think the Raiders are a brand, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 10, Washington Commanders, left hand up.
Who are we?
The Commanders. Number 11, the Bears. Number 12.
Can't wait to sing that song.
Number 12, Houston. They're right at around the league average, $7.17 billion. You mentioned Atlanta. They're number 13. So
I'm surprised the Packers. I mean, I know it's a small market, but I feel like that's a team that has enough notoriety. They'd be.
Well, this is interesting because we'll skip down a little bit. We talked about the Chiefs at 16.
Where's Denver? Didn't they sell for like a ton?
Denver's 15.
Okay.
And that's a pretty big market too.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Denver's at 15. I would have expected them to be closer to the top 10.
According to the article, it looks like they jumped up 2 spots from last year.
Yeah, they did. Chiefs jumped up 2 as well. So the Chiefs were at 16, as I mentioned earlier. Number 17, this one surprised me, and they actually slipped a couple spots. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I would have thought they were higher.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have thought they're much higher.
I would have too. And these are now, Kansas City Chiefs, as successful as they have been, they are below the league average in valuation at $6.5 billion. You asked about Green Bay, they're number 18. I just think the thing with Green Bay is obviously an iconic brand in football, but it's part of it is it's a small town, and they make money. All these franchises make money, but it's a different kind of deal in Green Bay, I'd say. And again, their influence in terms of national and local markets, it's minimized because of the size. Daniel Iverson would be bummed. His Vikings are 20. That's at a pretty big city, right? Minneapolis. LA Chargers. There you go again. This is the dichotomy of a big market. They're 21st, $6.2 billion. They are a shade, just a sniff ahead of, Sam, drum roll, the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, nice.
Tennessee's at 22. That
22?
Kind of surprised me a little.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Have you said Detroit yet?
I have not said Detroit. Nope. Number 23 is Cleveland. Number 24, Baltimore. Number 25, the Detroit Lions. And at 25, the Lions they've climbed 3 spots. Hard to believe that they were like in the bottom tier.
Yeah, that's a football city. You would think that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were bad for so long, but.
Yeah. Buffalo, 26. Surprises me a little too. 27, Carolina Panthers. 28, Indianapolis Colts.
Glaze over that one.
Yeah. This thing's rigged. Nah, I think that's.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about my Titans being 22.
I think you should. You should. Arizona Cardinals, 29. That's in a big growth market, man, in Phoenix. And then the bottom 3. The Saints at 30th. And then it's a battle at the bottom. They're neck and neck. 31st, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hate to see it, William.
Poverty franchise. There's no poverty franchise in the NFL. And then last, the Cincinnati Bengals. That one tracks. That doesn't surprise me at all, just given their reputation.
They don't spend money on anything.
They sure don't.
Sorry, Trey.
Yeah, no kidding. But it does explain, like, even if you look at where the Cleveland Browns are, I'm just thinking in terms of the Haslams. The Cleveland Browns are 23rd, just behind the Titans in terms of valuation. My point is, you have enough money to invest in an NFL franchise. You do it, man. It's almost like a Chick-fil-A franchise.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of owners in the NBA who have said, I haven't made a buck so far. That's more of a passion and vanity flex. I think the NFL becomes more like it's good business if you can invest, if you have the money to do it. There's all these franchises, even the Bengals, they're making a bunch of money. They really are. Problem for them is
that's why their owner, he's like, hey, I'm making money. Why do I have to go spend a bunch of it?
That's it. It's
coming in hand over fist.
Yep. All right. Well, that was interesting. Took my mind off of Adidas for just a minute. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll talk about, this is another list for you. Pete Nakos, who, by the way, is out there saying he thinks Joey Aguilar is the guy at QB1. He listed the 10 most important non-QBs in college football. Now, some of these are no-brainers, but there's a few that kind of surprised me. Is Jermod McCoy in that conversation? And who wears Nike and Adidas between those guys? I'm kidding. We'll talk about that when we return. Stick around. It's under review on Fan Run Radio.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Citizens National Bank, We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
This is Coach Josh Heupel. In football and life, you need a solid defense to protect what matters most. That's where Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee comes in. Score peace of mind with Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. They're your line of defense. FBITN.com.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance of the Tennessee Vols. I'm here to be that line of defense for all your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871 and go Vols.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco, and I'm proud to join the team here at Knoxville Smiles, where we're leading the way in comfortable, modern dentistry. Many people are anxious about going to the dentist. Here at Knoxville Smiles, our team works hard to make the experience as comfortable as possible. We offer everything from warm blankets to sedation dentistry to help you relax and make your visit as enjoyable as possible. So if it's been a while since you've been to the dentist, give us a call at 865-539-1776 to experience a dental visit that will make you smile.
Hey, folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
Hey Knoxville, Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Welcome back. Final segment, hour two. College football. On threes, Pete Nakos listed what he called the 10 most important college football players that coming into this season that are not quarterbacks. Thought this was kind of interesting. Might have a little local flavor in it. But we'll start at the top because the top, it's a no-brainer, right? The number one most important non-quarterback in college football, there's just no doubt it's Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. Guy is arguably, you could say in the modern era, at least maybe the best at his position ever in college football. I mean, this guy, if he turns in another season like we saw for the bulk of last season, this guy's insane, man.
Top 10 NFL wide receiver right now, I think.
That's crazy.
Till he goes to Cleveland.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
It'd be good. I mean, he's an Ohio guy, but I mean, they're trending
He's
towards
not an Ohio guy. He's a South Florida
I
guy.
mean, played at Ohio State.
Well, yeah, I know, but
imagine him going to the Dolphins, though. If the Dolphins are not going to be good this year.
I mean, when's the tank for Jeremiah going to start?
Yeah.
Put it with Cam.
Oh, that's true. I keep thinking, making it sound like he's
would
going to
tank
go
for Jeremiah Smith so fast.
Who was the last wide receiver to be drafted first overall in the NFL draft?
Great question.
Immediately, I just think Keyshawn because I don't know if anybody has.
Yeah.
I've since him.
Yeah. I can't remember anybody besides Keyshawn. Devontae Smith? No.
Nah, he wasn't
Nope.
first.
Keyshawn would be the
Calvin
last
Johnson didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So Keyshawn
96.
got almost 30 years. And I keep talking about, the Dolphins can tank. I mean, they'd have tanked for a couple seasons, right?
But now you think about it, could you go back through the draft and be like, oh, Randy Moss should have gone number 1, thinking about him and the year he had at Marshall and things like that.
Yeah, he was so good at his peak.
And how good they were in the NFL.
I mean, he was absolutely unstoppable for a pretty good period of time.
Been some great receivers, and Jeremiah Smith's as good as any of them.
Right.
At least college-wise.
Number 2. Anyone want to take a guess at number 2? Defensive player.
Caleb Downs.
That's what I would have said.
Nope, but you're close. He's number 3.
Fraud list.
Number 2 is Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. It's pretty good, man.
He's really good. He's not as good as Caleb Downs.
Yeah. Maybe
Caleb Downs is just a
I
hawk
agree.
out there.
Maybe Nakos just didn't want to have 1 and 2, both
Yeah.
Ohio State guys.
Yeah.
Dylan Stewart, number 2. Caleb Downs, number 3. So Ohio State already has 2 in the top 10. They got 2 in the top 3. Number 4. Anyone want to guess? I'll give you the side of the ball. Defense.
I'm looking at it, so I can't say.
Like playoff contending team, or
Yes.
That's a good.
Yeah, good point. Yes. Defensive player on a playoff contending team.
Let's go Anthony Hill, maybe Texas.
It's a good one.
That is a good one, but it's not him. Teammate.
Colin Simmons.
Bingo. Colin Simmons, edge rusher with Texas. He's number 4. Number 5, offensive player.
Jeremiah Love.
No.
Probably would have been my guess too. Offensive player number 5.
Playoff team, probably.
Definitely depending on who you talk to.
Yeah. He's so young, guys.
Ryan Williams.
That gave it away, didn't it?
8 seconds.
Yeah. Ryan Williams, number 5. Number 6, defensive player. Playoff team.
Peter Woods.
Yeah, I was going to start going for the Clemson guys as well.
No.
Everybody in the top 10 is on a playoff team.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's
they're
fair,
all so
yeah,
when he
they're
says
all
that,
on playoff teams. We'll keep it moving here.
Yeah.
Leonard Moore, cornerback at Notre Dame.
Wasn't going to be getting that.
Number 7, this is a name you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
He's already got a teammate
Sam,
in
you
that
said it.
list.
Oh, Anthony Hill?
Anthony Hill,
Stud.
linebacker at Texas. Yeah, when you see this, you start looking at it going, man, there's some of these teams. Now you understand why they're ranked so high. Number 8,
I think you said it.
already been mentioned.
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame.
Seen some of his like drills that he's been
Yeah.
doing. Just glides on air. Like he just
It's not fair.
That running back room and the Penn State running back room are just incredible.
Yeah.
That opening touchdown he had against Indiana was so beautiful, particularly if you don't like Indiana.
I mean, the crazy thing is Jadarian Prince is probably a top 5-6 running back in the country, and he's RB2 at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Number 9, been mentioned. Defensive player.
Did they say him? I don't know if they said him. Did
No, they did.
Peter.
I thought. Okay, yeah.
Peter Woods.
Peter Woods.
That's right.
Number 10 is a teammate to Peter Woods.
Oh, TJ Parker.
TJ Parker. So you look at that top 10, it's dominated by there's 4 schools with 2 players each. Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, and Clemson. Incidentally, people might be like, what about Jermod McCoy? Surprising to me, he was close to the top 10. He came in at number 13.
Okay.
So a lot of hype on Jermod McCoy.
Yeah.
He's in preseason All-American rankings pretty much everywhere. Just got to get him back, get him on that field. So there you have it.
I feel like that list is kind of like you could interpret it two ways, though. Like, you could have like a team that's a playoff fringe team with like a really, really good player, and I would say that that would be more impactful than like some of the players we said that are already in really good teams.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like maybe this was geared towards teams that they are thinking are aspiring for a national title.
Yeah.
You know, I guess. But it's a good point. All right, that wraps up hour 2 of the show. Let's hit a quick break. When we return, Sam will be here, get you covered with some midday headlines. Jack Foster from Omaha Productions and Rocky Top Insider will also join us in hour 3 to talk some college ball. I'm sure we'll take his temperature on Adidas and also see if we have any other feedback from listeners. If that's the case, we will share that too. Stick around. Be right back. It's Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hour 3 of Under Review starts now.
Welcome back to the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios of Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio. It's under review on a Thursday. Bob Baskerville here with Sam Beard, Brett Hollander, Garrett Armbrust, and you, our listeners. A lot of great interaction today. Always appreciate that. You can continue to weigh in. Number of ways you can do it. You can call us. You can text us. You can enter the chat on Fan Run TV. Phone lines, though, you can reach us that way, text or call. Area code 865-966-3435. That's 966-3435. Or you can also hit us up on X at Fox Sports Knox. You got something on your mind, man, let us know. We've been airing out as much as we can here. And nice adult discourse. It's happening. And I appreciate it. That said, let's hear Sam complain about some stuff. No, he's not complaining. He's got midday headlines, all sorts of things going on in the world of sports, a lot of transactions to speak of. Kind of a business Thursday. But without further ado, let me toss it over to Sam.
Transactions indeed. The Carolina Hurricanes owner, Tom Dundon, has reached a tentative agreement to purchase the Portland Trail Blazers from the estate of Paul Allen. The agreement values the franchise at over $4 billion, according to Shams. He is 53 years old. He is reportedly intending to keep the Trailblazers in Portland. I like that. I've always been kind of, for some reason, the Trailblazers have always had a bit of a soft spot in my heart. I feel like they deserve to be able to keep their fans, keep the people happy over there. He bought a controlling stake of the Hurricanes for $420 million back in January of 2018, and then 3 years later became the team's sole owner after purchasing all of the outstanding shares. They've made the postseason in all 7 seasons since that initial purchase, including 3 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, I think Portland Trailblazers fans would probably say, hey, let's hope that the initial success can kind of happen over here in Portland as well, as that's a team that is, I think it's a fan base, a region of the country that's kind of hungry for maybe some winning basketball over there. So maybe this is a sale that can kind of spark some winning culture over there, much like it did in Carolina for the hockey team.
Yeah, and we've talked about Portland before. I mean, by NBA terms, it feels like their roster's got some promise, right? If they can invest a little more money into things. Be interesting to see if Drew Holiday stays there. I don't know. I've always kind of liked Portland as kind of a sneaky, kind of a closet fan of them, but they've not been very good lately. So
they got Dame back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dame. You're right. Dame, Drew. They got a couple guys, and they could potentially be like a fringe playoff team at least. I think they started playing pretty well towards the end of last season. So interesting purchase for sure, though. Guy's going to log some flying miles if he wants to see both teams.
Absolutely, yeah. NBA officially approved the sale of the Boston Celtics for a record $6.1 billion, making it the largest ever for an American professional sports team. The transaction expected to close shortly. When it does, Bill Chisholm will take ownership of at least 51% of the team, with full control coming by 2028 at a price that could bring the total value up to $7.3 billion. Previous record was $6.05 billion paid for the Washington Commanders back in 2023. So Boston Celtics one-upping them a little bit. Celtics, though, clearly one of those teams that when you think of valuable franchises, Celtics definitely one of those teams that comes to mind as well. So that one comes official at $6.1 billion as well. Unbelievable amount of money.
Yeah. I hate the Celtics. Just an aside. I've just never liked them, but that's you were talking about valuable franchises, right? I mean, that them and the Lakers have to be right up at the top when you think of the NBA.
As someone who doesn't really have an NBA team, Celtics was one of like the NBA live video games I had growing up. Like I'd always play with the Celtics. My brother and I feel like we always played Celtics versus the Magic.
Yeah.
So I've never really had a problem with the Celtics ever since then. Something that a lot of people are going to have some problems with, Peacock implementing price increases across all of its plans after the $2.5 billion NBA deal that is put in place now for Peacock. If you got a message as a subscriber to them, they just wanted to let you know about the increase in price. If you're just their base package, their premium is what they call it, just the monthly one, went from $7.99 to $10.99. Premium Plus goes from $13.99 to $16.99. And then the annual packages for premium goes from $80 to $110. And then the annual Premium Plus goes from $139.99 to $169.99.
And they're unprofitable right now, by the way. I'm very disappointed because Peacock feels like a necessary evil to me for some of the sports, but that's the only thing I ever go to them for at this point. A lot of chatter. Who's going to go acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, their TV properties?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be NBC or is it going to be Paramount? Both of them are targeting it. NBC's looking at it as a way to resuscitate Peacock because they do have pretty good sports, but they have little else, like I just said, and they could take all the Warner Brothers Discovery non-sports content and kind of roll it into that. Then it becomes something more interesting. Consolidation is going to have to continue, man. This is getting crazy. Peacock's on my list of it might not be valuable enough. I might have to cut it loose.
How much? But the NBA will go there, right? Because
Yeah.
of NBC, and they'll show nightly games, right?
Yeah, but a lot will be on NBC still too. I mean, they're
Yeah.
going to split it, but yeah, you know, if you're an NBA head, you're going to probably have to stay with Peacock. I'll probably give it a shot for a little while because I think I'm on an annual subscription.
Switch to
They
a
show
monthly,
college
maybe.
football in there. Notre Dame popped up there a couple different times, right?
Yeah,
And
usually weaker games.
I watch it for
so.
soccer.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So, but show wise and movie wise, I mean, it doesn't offer anything. Really.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. They gotta have a better offering. And
Yeah.
like I said, if it's addition by subtraction, then I'm probably more interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be paying for like 6 different services right now.
Right.
It's getting namely because
Hard to
everybody's
keep
raising
up
their
with.
prices.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Everybody's doing it.
Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice expected to have his disciplinary hearing with the NFL on Tuesday, September 30th in New York. This means that Rice is now likely to be able to play the first 4 weeks of the season before any potential discipline is imposed for his role in a multi-car crash back in Dallas during the 2024 offseason. I think this would, if you're a believer in like the NFL supposedly bending the rules for the Chiefs, this is one that you can put in your back pocket, I feel like, here, because
yeah,
I feel like the stuff that Rashee Rice got into was like almost on par with Jordan Addison, and they did a pretty solid job of making sure that one gets put to the forefront before the season starts and he gets a 3-game suspension. I know that like 3 to 4 games was kind of the number that was floated out there for Rashee Rice anyway. I feel like once you get into a mid-season hearing, though, it's going to be slap on the wrist, if anything. Maybe it just kind of gets swept under the rug, and as soon as you know it, Patrick Mahomes is going to have one of his top weapons available for the entire season.
Would you take him in fantasy right now?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do. You take the best receiver with the best quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And he was putting up numbers before he got hurt or whatever.
Oh no, he
last
was.
Year.
Yeah, I had him on more.
Considering 3 start on most all fantasy things, I'd say he's at least a starter on that scenario.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if it's better or worse to go in. You go into a chunk of the season and then you got to sit it.
Can you go to like an IR position? Then you can just add.
Yeah, most leagues I'm in, they won't do that.
Yeah.
It's like you got
or
to
suspension tag or whatever they
you
put
gotta-
those on those guys.
Yeah,
You got to take the.
You got to either eat him on the roster or drop him.
Yeah.
I mean, do you do the same with Addison? I mean, is Addison a guy you still draft?
I'd probably steer clear of Addison just because of the quarterback
McCarthy. Okay,
situation.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I'd take him late.
Yeah.
Like,
That's,
if,
yeah.
if he's on the board, like with my second to last pick or something like that.
Agreed.
I'd be taking him. Talking about trouble. Trouble's always following this guy. The Don. Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
The NCAA investigating incidents of sports gambling involving multiple St. John's transfer players per sources, according to Rob Reinhart. This guy's not going to be real.
Yeah, I was wondering. I saw this yesterday. I was wondering if that
This
guy was a
ain't
real.
real, Bob.
Yeah, there's.
Rob Reinhart this guy ain't real. But I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I didn't see. I didn't.
He ain't
I,
real.
I
No
didn't-
way.
I didn't verify.
No way.
I just saw the headline. I was like, "Hey, Sam."
He's got the blue check. Does that count?
No. Garrett's
But
got
then you
the
look.
blue
But then
check.
you. But then you.
Just kidding.
Well, he's real. I can touch him.
William Patterson's got the blue check. You know, I mean,
John
we gotta monitor what that gets.
How many
tweeted out a
followers
lot
and
of the
stuff
time.
does this guy have?
Not that many followers. That's why I was like, nah, this ain't real.
Well, the guy that
I mean,
broke
it's always
the-
a believable headline. It was going to be that St. John's players are gambling. I mean, Rick Pitino, you never.
Says he's a Marine Corps vet. You gotta.
That's a good move by him. You know, they throw you off the scent. You never want to disrespect the troops.
The Mateer one was a parody account, but then everyone else started looking it up and it was real.
Yeah.
So,
You know, maybe where there's smoke, there's fire. Just maybe like we're speaking here with not a lot of truth to it, but there is potential that St. John's transfer players are betting against their former teams.
he's got those quote inside sources.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you never know.
I wouldn't be going after Patino with some fake news. He'll have you.
He's an easy get. Yeah, like credit to this guy for throwing Patino under the bus.
Yeah.
He's an easy guy to be like, oh, you know, I'd believe that with his roster.
Very believable. Very believable.
Trouble always follows him.
Yeah.
Here's a real story, though. Angel Reese set to drop her signature Angel Reese ones. I know Bob's going to be rocking these, playing pickup.
Hell yeah. What brand is she? Nike?
Reebok.
Reebok. Yeah.
Colorways include Diamond Dust,
Oh,
Me Bounds, and Receipts Ready.
wow.
Wow. All the best.
You wouldn't be wearing these pink ones, Bob?
Her and maybe Nate Ahmed will be wearing them this year.
You like those pink ones?
No.
What about those black and white ones?
Black and white ones are fine. They, I'm not saying I'd get them, but they look all right.
Which one do you think the Me Bounds are?
Between the two?
Mm-hmm. Diamond Dust got to be this white colorway that she's wearing.
Yeah.
Not the black and white. Receipts Ready, maybe. Black and white receipt. Me Bounds. Pink.
I don't care. Imagine if we were talking about Nike versus Reebok. There was an era where that might have happened.
Just cut the check at this point.
Remember, Michigan State was rocking Reeboks when they won the national title in basketball in
Hey.
2000.
Hey. Shadur Sanders' NFL debut, most watched preseason game in a decade on NFL Network.
Really?
2.2 million viewers, average audience for his NFL debut on August 8th versus the Panthers. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for him to unlikely play in his second preseason game due to an oblique strain. Team announced on Wednesday he maybe isn't expected to play, according to Rappaport. Sanders left Wednesday's practice early, suffering an oblique injury during drills, didn't play for the rest of the session. Further medical testing and examination on Sanders revealed an oblique strain, considered day-to-day, won't practice tomorrow, unlikely to play in the game on Saturday. Womp womp.
Wah, wah. Hey, I got to do some measuring.
Mm.
Home improvement section of the show.
Home improvement
Keep
section.
going.
Were
of
you
the show.
surprised he was listed as fourth string after his performance? Like the Browns, or does it even matter?
I feel like maybe from like a Browns' perspective, they just don't want to put him higher on the depth chart because then it just creates like more controversy and more.
That's true.
More of like the Browns media being like, "Oh, so Shedeur is a second string quarterback now. What do you think
He's gonna be
about
starting week 1?"
Yeah, exactly. All right, I have checked out this source. This guy is at least either just incredibly good at being a fake or he's real. Billy Embody, he's real. He's covering Ole Miss for Rebels on 3 and SMU for SMU Mustangs on 3. But per Sam Hutchins, Ole Miss defensive coordinator Pete Golding signed a contract extension, giving him a raise, making him the highest paid assistant in the SEC. The entire conference. Pete Golding, highest paid assistant in the league. Is that a guy that you think is deserving of being the highest paid assistant in the entire league, let alone DC, Brett? Garrett?
I don't know that he's the best. I would say if Baker makes improvements to the LSU defense, I would say he would be someone that I would pay a lot of money.
Or if Grubb has Ty Simpson looking like, what he made Penix and all these other guys, maybe he would. But I got no problem with it. They were good defensively last year. Led the nation in sacks, I believe.
I agree. I think he's going to be a guy that just sits a little bit more into the not the top guy out there. I'd pay him in like the top 5-ish range, but in the entire conference, that one kind of surprised me. The Milwaukee Brewers are never going to lose again, it seems like. They beat the Pirates. They've extended their winning streak to 12 games. These guys are hotter than hot could be. They've won 12 straight for the second time in franchise history now. I saw something that it was like the first time, or I want to say it was the first time in franchise history that they've done they've had multiple double-digit win streaks in a season for the first time before.
That's kind of surprising.
I kind of, when I was talking about the Trailblazers being a team that I've never really had a problem with, I feel like the Brewers in baseball are kind of a team that I've never exactly had too much of an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
I am worried for their sake that they're just getting way too hot a little bit too early. You want to be playing good August 14th. I don't know if you want to just be elite like this is right now. We'll see if they can continue this into October, but I feel like the Brewers are just always a team that's going to be sticking there all around.
I think they got free. I think they're doing like free burgers now or something like that. I thought I heard Cody say that on one of his
free burgers.
Like one of their.
You win 12 in a row, you get free burgers.
I think so. Something like that. Yeah.
For just like one game, for how long? No, we don't know. Do I need to keep going on headlines, Bob? Do you need me for measurements do you need us to not go to a break with the video stuff? Okay. Rory McIlroy. Brett, did you see these comments about him?
The Ryder Cup?
Yeah, declining to be a playing captain at a future Ryder Cup, and was also kind of, wouldn't say throwing some shots at Keegan Bradley, but was saying that it's going to be a very, very tough task, and there's kind of a little bit more to being a Ryder Cup captain than it seems, and don't know if you can kind of balance the two between being a captain and a playing guy. Garrett, you're a big golf guy too. You a Rory fan? I'm kind of getting sick and tired of Rory McIlroy these days.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I liked him.
I did too.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole live thing, I'm not really pro live, but he was just so far on the other side and kind of took every headline for pro PGA Tour was coming from him. I don't know. They asked Scotty yesterday, I saw about the Ryder Cup, and he basically was like, I'm here at the BMW. I don't care about the Ryder Cup. Let's talk about golf this week. So
I don't know how far along they were talking about, because I guess it's a little different for Rory and Keegan, because Rory is the number one team player on that team. If Keegan were to make it, he doesn't necessarily have to play. He might play once in the singles, but his focus, Keegan would do both. I think he'd be great at both. Honestly, I think it'd be cool to see somebody do both.
That's just the question is if you're only going to play once, is there any point of selecting yourself?
I feel like Keegan Bradley's playing good enough this year that you kind of need him to play a little bit.
I feel like Rory's going to be on the next 10 Ryder Cups.
No, I feel like you need to have him play too, but there's just so much with captaincy. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Tiger's done it in the President's Cup, but that's a little bit different. I think Arnold Palmer's the only person to do it in the Ryder Cup.
That is true. 1963.
That was a while ago.
Long time ago.
I mean, Keegan's 10th in the Ryder Cup standings. He's not far off from even making it. Like,
I mean, I'd rather
on
him
points.
play. I'd rather him play than them take like JT or Spieth or somebody.
Like, I'm
that's,
tired of Harmon.
you know,
Like, you're better than Harmon.
What are the Ryder Cup standings right now?
Like JT's right out. Like, the top 6 is Scheffler, Spawn, Schauffele, Henley, DeChambeau, and Harris English. So those would be the 6 to make it right now. Then you got to pick 6 other guys, or I don't know how many captains picks. I guess there's 6 captains picks. Like after Keegan, I don't know if I'm taking many of those guys before yourself.
We're gonna lose on home soil, I think. You got what you needed, Bob? I'm out of headlines.
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for covering. Got some dimensions. Needed it. Going to have a new.
Is that the most accurate way to go about that? Is that the only way for us to go about that?
Well, there's a reason why I can explain later, but yeah, we're trying. We have like broad measurements for a new backdrop behind us. Besides this, my wife said kind of looks like we're in an interrogation room at the moment. We're trying to stylize it by the time football season comes, make it more fan run and vol centric.
Mike Matthews likes the Adidas deal. I loved it because they're going to make us a priority.
There you go.
Did you see that thing Trey Wallace put out about Oklahoma and how fans can pay to like sit in a post game presser and all this stuff?
Total waste of money.
For the low price of $692, you and a friend can join the Sooners in the media room following home games to watch us low life media members barrage folks with questions.
Could you imagine paying $700 to watch Josh Heupel just like avoid all of his answers basically post game?
B.S. Osborne on the live chat just said Rory McIlroy comes off as very self-important and condescending, at least to me. He enjoys the sound of his own voice. Yes,
it feels like he really like he took like what Garrett was saying about how he kind of took up for the PGA Tour there and all the live stuff, and now that it's kind of passed, he's like, I want the pat on the back just all the time. I can do whatever the hell I want because I'm the face of the PGA Tour.
Right.
Him and Scotty are playing together. He's getting smoked by Scotty right now.
Most people do. Most people do get smoked by
300
Scotty.
through 5 for Scotty. He's on fire.
Most people do.
All right, boys. Good headline segment. Let's hit a break. When we return, we'll be joined by Jack Foster with Omaha Productions. He's shifting into full-on college football mode. We'll talk some college football with him, both close to home and otherwise. We'll get to all of that when we return. Stick around. It's under review on Fan Run Radio.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Citizens National Bank.
There are always memories to be made with family and friends, and we want you to share your memories with us. Share your best photos depicting your memorable experiences throughout the year, and your photo could be chosen to be in our 2019 Memories Calendar. Simply upload your photo to CMB's Facebook page's photo contest application or deliver it to any branch.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Visit cmbtn.com for official contest rules.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee, we believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Welcome back to Under Review. Talking college football, Adidas, all that stuff. Just looking at some of the, we'll get to these maybe in the final segment. A few more comments from listeners on the live chat over at Fan Run TV. But let's talk some college football closer to home and also wider. This guy, he's probably pretty immersed in it at this point. He works on the Always College Football podcast with Greg McElroy over at Omaha Productions. I believe he's the producer on it. Does a great job. Scott Van Pelt, Mina Kimes, this guy. He is a workhorse. Guy does great stuff. Also moonlights for Rocky Top Insider from time to time, but football's front and center for him right now, and we sure do appreciate him hopping on and joining us. It's Jack Foster. Jack, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great, Bob. How are you guys?
We're good. Did I characterize that right on McElroy's thing? Are you the producer, or are you doing, I mean, how's that work?
Yeah, I'm not the head producer. A great guy by the name of Mark Kubiak is, but I do help on the show still. That's how I got my start with Omaha. So, yeah, still assist in the production of that show, handle social media channels, all that. So yeah, still part of it for sure.
Jack, I don't want to start the interview out dragging Greg McElroy through the mud, but did it pain you a little bit for him to say, for you to hear him say that Dom Bailey was going to be like a great young player for this Tennessee defense?
Look, man, he has to know the rosters, the schedules. He has to study 50 plus college football teams in the month of July and August. And yeah, he makes a couple mistakes here and there. And of course, I'm going to notice the Tennessee mistakes, but I'm not going to drag him too much because he knows more about college football than I'll ever know. But yes, he did make a mistake there. The sentiment he was sharing though was accurate. There are a lot of depth pieces that could take steps that are young guys. He just lumping Dom Bailey in with those guys is obviously incorrect, but yeah. Hey, not everyone's perfect, right?
Bailey's been getting quite a glow up in camp, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a really solid player, obviously, and could be a really key piece for Tennessee. That part is definitely true.
Yeah. All right, before we talk a little college football on a broader basis, let's get your take on the elephant in the room. It ended up occupying the first half of our show today. It's cooled down a little bit, but it's still out there. It's still smoldering, and it's this whole Tennessee partnering with Adidas deal. Where do you stand on this? Do you think it's good, bad? Do you care that much? I mean, what's your perspective on it?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, I don't care all that much. And, this has been something that's been rumored for months, right?
Right.
So early on when we were talking about this, it's like, oh, the Adidas uniforms don't look as clean as the Nike. Nike has better sets. And yeah, I agree with that, right? Like, I think the Nike uniforms generally look better in my opinion. So I didn't necessarily want the switch, but obviously as more information has come out and with the priority that Adidas is going to make Tennessee and the fact that Nike didn't really want Tennessee, didn't really care all that much, right? So the fact that Adidas is wanting Tennessee this badly and is going to make them such a priority, it just completely changes the whole thing. And so I do agree with the switch. I have no issue with it whatsoever. And honestly, like I just said, when it comes down to the look of things, the uniforms, I genuinely don't care all that much. I do think Adidas uniforms are a little worse. The basketball ones, I think Ryan Shepard has made this point before, like Nike had a really good uniform set with Tennessee basketball, so we'll see how that changes. I think baseball could honestly be better in a way. But overall, I don't care about the look all that much. And with the fact that Adidas wanted Tennessee so much more, makes the switch a no-brainer.
Jack, we know that there's been a lot of questions around this football team this offseason, whether it be the quarterback position and everything that went into that saga or a thin and young wide receiver room. Are you going to be able to replace Dylan Sampson's production well enough? Can you kind of hold up in the back end, without Jermod McCoy to start the season? What's one off-season kind of worry from the fan base that maybe you think is going to end up being a bit of an overreaction kind of once we get into the midst of playing and you kind of get into the heat of the season, I guess?
Yeah, you mentioned the wide receiver room. I'm starting to get a little bit more excited about these wide receivers. And I think large part of that excitement is just because of the unknown. There's so much unknown with that room. And, Kelsey Pope took the podium. He can fire you up with what he's saying about guys like Braylon Staley and others. And I'm just buying in a little bit. I'm worried about Tennessee's quarterback more than anything, but I'm kind of buying into these receivers. I still like Mike Matthews as a top-tier talent. Chris Brazzell sounds like he's been progressing really well back out on the practice field. Injury doesn't seem to be much of a cause for concern anymore. And then these other young guys, like Braylon Staley, who's entering his second year but hasn't played hardly at all. And then the true freshmen, specifically Travis Smith and Rad Jackson, I think could make plays if given the opportunity. We've seen Heupel be tentative with giving true freshmen opportunities in the past, i.e. Mike Matthews being the, biggest case of that last year as such a talented player that didn't get enough run. But Tennessee's so shallow in that room, I think they'll be forced to play true freshmen more so this year. And I like the talent level of both Jackson and Smith. So I'm getting excited about this wide receiver room. I think Tennessee's offense could be fun. I just want the play calling, just play style to almost be, you don't have to go full on, we have nothing to lose, but I don't see why there would be any lack of aggression with Tennessee's offense this year, because sure, you can run the ball well, play defense really well, and have a good enough offensive line to go 9-3 all day. But you're going to have to be aggressive offensively, take some chances to try and get to that 10-2 mark, which is probably what you'll need to make the college football playoffs. So I want Tennessee's offense to be aggressive, and I think it could certainly be that so long as the wide receiver room is playing well enough, and I'm starting to buy into that.
Talking with Jack Foster with Omaha Productions and Rocky Top Insider. Jack, AP poll comes out earlier this week, and let me talk you through my emotions on it. We saw the coaches poll last week. Tennessee checks in at 18. Felt about right to me. Then the AP poll comes out. Tennessee is 24th, barely, just a vote away from being 25th. And they're the 10th of 10 SEC teams in that poll. But the more I think about it, the more I read, the more I listen to other voices in the sports media landscape. Kind of what we were just saying earlier about at the end of the day on Adidas and Nike, it's like, does it really matter? And it's like, probably getting ahead of ourselves, right? There's a compelling argument that these preseason polls maybe should not exist. They make great show fodder, but with so many good SEC teams, I mean, what do you think? I mean, how do you stack Tennessee up in the strata of other SEC teams right now?
Yeah, it's difficult. I didn't have much of an issue with Tennessee's ranking, and when you're comparing them to these other SEC schools and this glut of the South Carolina, Ole Miss, A&M, Florida, Tennessee, I think A&M and Tennessee are pretty similar, where you expect a high floor, given the talent level on defense, given the ability to run the ball at a high level, especially in A&M's case. And, the schedule plays a factor with Tennessee here in that I think it raises their floor in a big way because of how many gettable matchups there are, how many winnable games Tennessee will have. But I see A&M and Tennessee in the same boat where I honestly don't see a high ceiling. I don't see an 11-1 ceiling. I have a hard time seeing a 10-2 ceiling if I'm being honest. Whereas the other teams, there's much more variance. Florida could be really good, or Florida could, their woes could get them, and Lagway could just not be as great as some people think he's going to be. Oklahoma, you have John Mateer, who, was awesome at Wazoo last year, but he's first year in the SEC. He could underwhelm. And then Ole Miss, new starting quarterback in Austin Simmons. We saw a great drive, but Ole Miss is a team that's lost quite a bit of talent on defense, new quarterback. They could take a step back. So there's more variance with those teams, I think. They could finish. So look, someone's going to have to finish 7-5, right? 8-4. Some of these teams are going to underwhelm. It's just the nature of the thing. But I think those teams also have more upside. So Tennessee being behind those teams such as Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Florida doesn't really bother me all that much because there's more to buy into those teams being college football playoff caliber, whereas I kind of have a hard time getting there with Tennessee. So I have no problem with their ranking, and I would put them as a safe 8-win team, but a team I have a hard time seeing making the playoffs. So in the 20s makes a ton of sense.
Looking back on last year's SEC standings, what's maybe one team from kind of the bottom half of the conference that you feel really confident in taking a leap up and kind of surprising some people, and then maybe who's one team that was closer to the top that you think might take a step back?
In the SEC?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is the team that can take a step back. 9-win season a year ago, really an underwhelming 9-win season. They were better than that. And like I just said, the loss of talent on defense and a new quarterback. Jackson Dart was good, man. And you also lose Trey Harris, right? So I don't know if Ole Miss is going to be as competitive this year. I think they'll be more towards the middle of the pack in the SEC rather than a true player. Greg McElroy would actually disagree with me. They were on our Dark Horses show. He highlighted them there, but I don't see it happening. I'd much rather buy into Florida than Ole Miss. I'd rather buy into even South Carolina than Ole Miss, who, has also lost a lot, but does return maybe the best defender in the SEC in Dylan Stewart and a true Heisman contender in Lenore Sellers. So those two guys are enough to buy into SC. So Ole Miss is the team I think can take a step back. And then a step forward, it's hard to not say Oklahoma. I mean, Brent Venables calling plays on defense now. John Mateer, what a player he was at Washington State last year. It's easy to think Oklahoma can take a pretty big step forward. And I still believe in Brent Venables. He's obviously a hell of a DC at Clemson all those years. And I still think he can be a good head coach. So Oklahoma's the swing game on Tennessee's schedule. That's the game takes them to 9-3 or 8-4 in my opinion. And Oklahoma is definitely a breakout candidate of these SEC teams, and I think Ole Miss falls back a little.
Widen the lens a little bit, and because again, with what you're doing with Greg and the podcast and everything else, you got your ear to the ground on a lot of other teams across the country. Now that the preseason polls are out, and like we said, those aren't highly prescriptive. They're just, they give you some guidance at the beginning of the season. But who's a team you see in there, similar to what Sam was just saying? Who do you see as a team in that poll that's not an SEC team that you feel is kind of got a chance to sneak up? And we're not talking Texas, Ohio State, Penn State. It's like beyond that. What team do you think could go in and be playing for a national title this year?
That's a good question. Yeah, just looking at the back half, I mean, I think LSU could surprise some people. They come in at 9th on the preseason poll. They have a lot going for them. I'm a big Garrett Nussmeier guy. I hate Brian Kelly, though. So it's hard. I'm never going to root for LSU under Brian Kelly. I've just always disliked Brian Kelly. But they got a lot cooking this year. And I think LSU, it could be their year to truly make some noise and be a fringe top 5 college football team, which, could potentially surprise some people. I think Clemson could not be, Clemson wins the ACC last year because the ACC is terrible and all they had to do is beat SMU. And you pick Clemson as the auto ACC team because of, again, how bad the league is. But I think Clemson could legitimately compete with some SEC schools this year. I'm not a huge Cade Klubnik guy. I don't think he's the best quarterback in college football, but he's been around the block. He's experienced enough to be really solid. And I think their wide receiver room is great. The defense could have 2 top 10 picks. Like Clemson could be a juggernaut this year. And sure, they're a top 5 team in the preseason, but I think the outlook on Clemson with especially a lot of SEC fans is, hey, yeah, they'll make the playoffs, but lose to one of these top dogs. I think Clemson could hang with the top dogs this year. So that's a team I think could be a definite natty contender, whereas they weren't really last year, even though they did win their own conference. And aside from that, I don't see many of these teams in the teens in the preseason poll doing anything to compete for a national championship, I should say. Same for the 20s. I think USC is disrespected. This is largely a Greg take, and maybe I'm not as high on them as he is, but it makes a lot of sense. DeAnton Lynn did some good things with that defense last year. You're going into another year of that. Jada Mayava had some good moments, especially against Notre Dame. So USC a bit disrespected, not even being ranked. And yeah, I would say LSU and Clemson are maybe some natty dark horses, in my opinion, for SEC fans. People looking at things through an SEC lens maybe don't recognize Clemson like that, and then LSU just not being 9th in the preseason bowl, I think could be a top 5 team this year.
And playing each other in the opener too.
Absolutely. Yep. Right? That's a huge game for both teams. It's really going to be telling.
Yeah.
It feels like every year, Jack, we always get some of these polarizing teams that, when it comes to college football discourse kind of around media and stuff like that, it's either a love-hate. Feels like last year it was kind of the Indianas and the BYUs and the SMUs kind of the world. Who's maybe some teams that you've got your eye on this year to kind of fall into that category where it becomes a big argument between some people of whether or not they're a legitimate player / contender or just kind of a bit of a paper tiger, I guess.
Right. I don't, as far as the G5 goes, I don't have many candidates for you. And the one that's been probably the most popular pick, and it's just because of how much money they've spent, Texas Tech. If Texas Tech wins the Big 12 this year, they're automatically a contender in that way, and I think that could happen. Lots to like about the Red Raiders. I think Utah could be back to national relevance. They got a solid quarterback, Kyle Whittingham, one of the better coaches in the league, and not enough people are talking about Utah. I think Nebraska, year 3 Matt Rule track record is amazing. I think Matt Rule's kind of a goober. It's easy to make fun of him, but Dylan Raiola is really talented, and we've seen flashes of Nebraska. They just haven't been able to put it together, win any sort of close games. They've struggled with that still in the Rule era. But year 3 Matt Rule could surprise some people. Again, an unranked team in the preseason. So I'll look at some of those teams, a Big Ten team to take a leap like Nebraska. The Big 12, there's so many candidates you can look to. Cincinnati has an easy schedule, and if Sorsby's a dude, they could potentially find their way to a 10-win season because of the way the schedule sets up. And, yeah, you just really go down the line with those Big 12 schools. Kansas, I mean, how many close games was Kansas in last year that they lost early? And Jalen Daniels is back, who is one of the more electrifying players in the league. And Lance Leipold, hell of a coach. So Kansas could be a team, too, to fit that bill.
Jack, last question out the door. Have you watched any of this Any Given Saturday doc on Netflix? You have not?
I have not seen any of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to get your thoughts at some point once you see it. I think it's pretty good overall. It definitely gets you in the mood for football. So I'll take that.
I heard Beamer was featured way too much.
Oh.
That was a mistake.
It's a South Carolina infomercial is what it felt like, got to say. And then they actually elevated the game, the weirdness game on Texas A&M's Yell team. It was like some stuff I've seen that is far worse than anything else I've seen, which is saying something. So that's worth watching just for that. But then you want to erase it out of your head immediately. Hey, listen, man, as always, appreciate you spending time with us. Let the listener know where they can check out the work and the things you're working on. And hope we can maybe start getting back into a cadence like we did last football season. We always love talking ball with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. As far as college football goes, we've talked about it. Always College Football with Greg McElroy. We'll be upping our show cadence here very soon. Getting into the season, a lot of fun content there, especially on our social channels at Always CFB. SV Pod will go twice a week. Once week one kicks off in the college football season, we'll have recap shows late Saturdays and NFL recap shows on Tuesdays. So that's a ton of fun. And then Mina Kimes' show has already gone to twice a week now, getting ready for the NFL season. So couldn't be more excited for what's to come.
Excellent, buddy. Thank you so much for making some time for us today. Hope you have a great end of the week and a good weekend. And we'll look forward to catching up with you here the next time. It's almost here, man.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.
See you, Jack.
See you, Jack. Let's hit our final break. When we come back, a couple more thoughts from folks listening on the just the show and Adidas, etc. We'll use that to put a bow on today's show. Stick around. Be right back. It's Under Review on Fan Run Radio.
You're listening to Fan Run Radio, the sports humans.
Only 2 more homestands to see your Knoxville Smokies in action. Join us next week for All-You-Can-Eat Wednesday, Titans Night on Thursday, with a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Titans game and autographed jersey. UT Night on Saturday with a free Dylan Sampson bobblehead giveaway, and fireworks both Friday and Saturday night. Don't miss your final chances to see your Smokies play in the brand new Covenant Health Park. Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Hungry for some mouth-watering barbecue? Then take the quick drive up I-75 to Rickard Ridge for some of the best barbecue you'll ever have. Fall off the bone, Memphis-style baby back ribs, slow-smoked chicken thighs, and fresh hand-cut steaks. Rickard Ridge has something for everyone. Located in Cove Lake State Park with a spectacular view of the Cumberland Mountains, Rickard Ridge. It's more than just dinner, it's a destination. Check out their full menu and catering options online at rickardridgebbq.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Special thanks today to our guest, Ben Mckee from GoVols 247 and Jack Foster, Omaha Productions. Some final thoughts. I'm just looking in the chat on Fan Run TV. I really appreciate everybody's interaction today. now you got some listeners talking to each other, which is always cool. This goes back to earlier when Brett played some of the music in Little TNA, one of my favorite songs by the Stones. Keith Richard on lead vocals. B.S. Osborne had that for us. And Shane said, it's awesome to see the different fan types each show has. This show seems to have more calm, realistic fans, while The Drive seems to have all the negative, the world is ending fans. Huh. Love them all, though. And then B.S. Osborne says, agreed. Thanks us. Great show, under review crew. We appreciate it. We like what we do. And we appreciate the discourse here, man. It's okay, man. Talk about it. We don't have to agree on everything. It's all cool. Let's just be level-headed about it. And yeah, it's fun. We love doing it. And Sam, it's about to get better too, with football just around the corner.
It's only getting better from here.
Hell yeah.
It's only up from here.
Yeah.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Glad to see, though, somebody's identifying The Drive as a problem show in the program.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, listen to them have to be so down on us, man.
Yeah. One more from Tampavall. One more from Tampavall. I don't want a nickel of Adidas deal going to the Danny district. It has to all go to the players. 7 months ago, everyone was saying Ohio State spent $20 million on NIL and they won the Natty. It has to all go to the players. I want to win. That's how he wrote it. So, amen, man. We all feel that way. Let's hopefully we get some more transparency on all of it down the line. All right, boys. Good show today. Sam, great work by you. Appreciate you. Brett, appreciate your help as always. Garrett, thank you so much for coming in and hanging with us. And you, the listener, always appreciate you interacting with us, listening, watching, spending time with us. Keep it locked in on Fan Run Radio. The Chase with Chase Thomas is up next at 1 o'clock, followed by The Drive, that problem show with Russell and the guys at 3, and then Overtime with William Pattison at 6. We will be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, have a great night.